Forge has been around for some time now, and it's evolved quite a bit since its initial release years ago. Let's take a look at the history of Forge. Halo 3 was released in 2007 with a new game mode known as Forge. It aimed to serve as a tool for players to slightly modify pre-existing maps, such as moving a rocket launcher spawn or a flag point. But surely, people started to use it in more advanced ways. People started to make their own small maps and game modes using barrels and crates. However, at the time of Halo 3's release, there wasn't a dedicated forging space. This is where Bungie came in with the Heroic Map Pack, and it changed everything. The Heroic Map Pack introduced Foundry, which was the first dedicated forging canvas. Foundry was a completely open factory floor where players could build whatever they wanted. However, it wasn't just the space that drove Forge, it was the objects and their physics. Foundry introduced a much wider selection of objects to work with, everything from walls to trucks. It meant that forgers were able to actually add real structure to their maps. Additionally, Foundry's objects were fixed and wouldn't move if you crashed into them in-game. This meant that they no longer needed to be tethered down as they were previously. The object's physics introduced more advanced forging techniques like interlocking, where you could have one object inside of another object to make things more seamless. Furthermore, people started to geomerge, which is where you would force an object into the canvas itself, hiding certain undesired parts of the blocks. These techniques revolutionized Forge even more. It made it so yet again forgers were able to further customize their maps and create desired geometry which wasn't previously possible. Fast forward a couple months, Bungie delivered more DLC including a new Forge canvas, Sandbox. Sandbox introduced 3 unique forging spaces to work with and a ton of new blocks. We had the Skybox, a floating grid above the main area that blocks would stick to when you put them down. However, players would fall through. There was the main area, which was a flat open area surrounded by sand. And finally, there was the Crypt, a smaller open area similar to Foundry. However, the problem with Halo 3's Forge was the techniques. It was slow and tiring, they took time to perform, and the entire forging process was slow and monotonous. Halo Reach was released in 2010 and it completely changed Forge forever. Bungie looked at what everyone was doing with Forge, all of the little glitches to make blocks blend with one another or how forgers would force blocks into the ground, and they took those tricks and made them actual features. Blocks now had 3 different forge styles. There was Phased, where the object could seamlessly be put into any other block or part of the canvas. Fixed, where the block would stay still no matter where you placed it, but it wouldn't pass into any other blocks or the canvas. And Normal, where the block would act as it did in Halo 3. Additionally, we got Precision Editing, where forgers were able to make very small adjustments to the position of a block. Aside from the mechanics, we got Forge World, which was a massive canvas that included unique forging spaces such as an island, a canyon, cliffs, caves, a coliseum, and much more. The canvas was huge and players took full advantage of it. We also had the palette completely overhauled. We were given tons of new blocks that varied in size and look. We truly had a revolutionary Forge that forgers ran with. We saw some of the most unique maps ever created in Forge World. 2 years after the release of Halo Reach, Halo 4 was released, which also included a new version of Forge. Halo 4 introduced the duplication feature, where you could duplicate objects quickly and efficiently so you no longer needed to grab them from the palette over and over again. It also introduced magnets, which allowed you to snap objects quickly together. In terms of canvases, there were 3. There was Erosion, which was an underground mining facility of sorts. There was a Griffball Stadium to work with, some dirt/rocks, and a green acidic lake where you could only forge above. The second canvas was Ravine, which was an outdoor grassland area that included a giant gap in the middle that separated a metallic area from the grasslands. Finally, there was Impact, which was a space canvas in an asteroid field. Players could forge in the small asteroids or on the 2 larger asteroids. However, there was a bit of an outcry from the forgers, asking for a better canvas in which there was more area to work with. That's when 343 delivered Forge Island in April 2013. Forge Island consisted of 3 flat islands, all varying in size, above a large open water area. Forge Island also introduced something we hadn't seen before, and that was full-fledged trees and massive rocks. For the first time, players were able to sculpt natural geometry into their maps. We were able to form rock formations as well as put down foliage to make maps feel more immersive. In 2014, Halo the Master Chief Collection was released, which included Halo 2 Anniversary Forge. Halo 2 Anniversary Forge was much like Halo 4's Forge, except there were a few noticeable differences. Some of the functionality returned that was absent from Halo 4, such as precision editing. The budget was removed and in its place was an object count. Players could now put down up to 650 objects on the map. We had 3 new canvases to work with: Skyward, Nebula, and Awash. Skyward was a giant open skybox on a Halo ring. There was nothing, it was completely open and it was entirely up to the forger to create a map. Nebula was basically the same deal. It was a skybox, except this time it was in space and not on a Halo ring. Awash was a little different. There was actual area to work with. The entire canvas was shallow water that the player could walk around on, but that was basically it. Halo 2 Anniversary introduced terrain pieces, where the forger could actually put down chunks of terrain now. In addition to this, scripting was also added, where players could use switches and links to make specific actions happen on the map, such as a gate opening or something exploding. Halo 5's Forge is expected to release in early December, and with it things have changed yet again. We have new tools, new blocks, new canvases, and a lot more. It appears to be the biggest change to Forge since Halo 3 to Halo Reach. Some of the changes include an improved control scheme, multi-select/edit, free camera, contextual control helper, grid/rotation snaps, better magnets, grouping, welding, and much more. So now you know your history on Forge. Let me know what your favorite Forge era was in the comments section below. Or if I missed anything, be sure to leave it in the comments. This was Sean with Forge Labs. I'll see you guys next time.
Spartan, do you have a visual confirmation on a mantis?
I see nothing. I'm right here. There's nothing around.
No mantis cover. Sorry, he's right on top of you.
Hey there, I'm Andy Bravo-Dadinsky, and this is Breaking Down the Map, where I take you on a tour of the multiplayer maps you'll be Spartan charging your way through in Halo 5 Guardians. Right now, we're highlighting a map with one of the more interesting layouts, complete with towering structures, space whales, and the potential to go for a quick swim. Of course, I'm talking about Fathom. Fathom is a symmetrical map situated in an underwater base with 2 defined sides, red side and blue side. Each side is comprised of a base and 2 main areas. Starting from the back of the base are street and VAT. Expect to start firing immediately after you spawn, as enemies will be constantly barreling down this lane. In addition, each side has a yard section which connects to the opposing VAT. If you require a little shelter coming from one side of the map to the other, then you should go through Treehouse. Also a great flag run option, Treehouse connects to top middle, which houses a railgun and a great spot to hold your opponents to their side of the map. And of course, if there's a top, then there must be a bottom. And bottom middle offers a straight path to the opposing base while also holding a very important power-up. So now that you're a pro on the location callouts, how about a lesson on which weapons and power-ups to work with? Let's get into it. Do your team a favor and grab the light rifle off your spawn. It's located in the left window of each base. And in case you didn't know, the light rifle is a 3-shot kill when zoomed in. Steady your aim and get those headshots. If you're a nice person and you choose to let someone else get the light rifle, treat yourself to the battle rifle, located in yard to the side of the base. Fathom's power weapon is the railgun, spinning top middle in the dead center of the map. Once it's yours, I suggest staying up here and hunting down any enemy Spartans you see. Right below that, in bottom middle, is the active camo, which of course is on a 2-minute respawn. Snag it, head to the opposite side, and scope out the competition before committing to a push or grabbing the objective. Fathom can play host to a number of different game types, but the one that will help you best learn the flow of the map is Capture the Flag. Fathom is a small map, so when you spot an opposing flag runner, knowing the quickest route to head them off is crucial. CTF on Fathom can get down to the wire, and the only way to push ahead is by using all of the tricks you've got up your sleeve. In pursuit of the power weapons, learn this jump from bottom to top middle for easy access to the railgun. Start here, jump, and jump clamber your way to the top. 3 words: practice makes perfect. Good luck. 5 words. Fathom offers up a classic Halo Arena feel, plus it has a space whale. Keep checking back to the Halo channel for more episodes of Breaking Down the Map. We'll see you next time.
Captured by the Covenant military in the aftermath of the events of Installation 04, the Forerunner monitor known as 343 Guilty Spark managed to convince these soldiers of the truth about Halo.
Our prophets are false. Open your eyes, my brothers.
These warriors quickly defected, realizing that the entire history of the Covenant was based on a lie. Unfortunately for the Monitor, his newfound freedom was cut short when a Sangheili strike force killed the defectors and returned him to Covenant leadership. The Covenant would soon use Spark to leverage information about a newly discovered Halo installation, one which they would come to call Delta Halo. Under the command of the Hierarchs, Tartarus intended to activate this Halo ring with the Monitor's assistance.
Please use caution. This reclaimer is delicate.
But upon his arrival at the ring's control room, the brute chieftain was assaulted by a Sangheili assassin known as the Arbiter. This event would lead to the end of Tartarus's life and deliver Guilty Spark into the hands of humanity. When the Prophet of Regret fled from Earth on October 20th, 2552, the UNSC frigate In Amber Clad trailed close behind. Several days later, it would arrive near Delta Halo. On the surface of this new installation, the UNSC and Covenant forces would once again collide, tearing a hole into the heart of the ring's quarantine zone and eventually coming into contact with the devastating parasite known as the Flood. The UNSC presence all but eliminated, Sergeant Avery Johnson and Commander Miranda Keyes fought against the Covenant forces which were attempting to activate the ring, forging an uneasy alliance with the Sangheili warrior known as the Arbiter. When a Covenant civil war ignited across Halo and in their holy city of High Charity, both the humans and the Arbiter recognized that the Flood could not be allowed to escape under any circumstance. It was at that time that the Arbiter would quickly call together a contingent of faithful Sangheili, the newly formed Fleet of Retribution. An accomplished warrior and the catalyst which led to the Covenant civil war, Thel 'Vadami faced off against the leader of the Jiralhanae, Tartarus, in Delta Halo's control room. This event would become a defining moment in Covenant history, ultimately leading to the standby activation of all Halo rings. With direction from 343 Guilty Spark, Thel would learn of the Ark, now the only place where the Covenant could activate the Halo array. But the release of the Flood from Delta Halo would put these plans on hold. It was then that the Arbiter met with his ally, Urtas 'Vadami, a commander who once served within his fleet. Leading the Fleet of Retribution with the assault carrier Shadow of Intent, Urtas and his Sangheili soldiers rendezvoused with the Arbiter and their newfound human allies. Together they formulated a plan for sterilization and quarantine. They, along with any capable Sangheili-controlled ships, would cauterize the surface of Delta Halo through orbital bombardment, destroying anything which attempted to slip away. On November 3rd, 2552, Guilty Spark remained behind with this fleet, coordinating the critical containment efforts while the Arbiter, Keyes, and Johnson raced back to Earth to warn humanity and to locate the Ark. In the days which followed the Covenant's vicious internal struggle, the shipmaster known as Urtas 'Vadami would orchestrate a large-scale destruction of Delta Halo's surface and the surgical elimination of any ships which attempted to escape it. After days of this extensive campaign, a single flood-infested cruiser managed to steal through their lines. Their last trajectory was Earth, the human homeworld and the location where both the Arbiter and the humans were headed. The shipmaster, ordering a portion of his fleet to pursue, would soon come to learn that not only did this ship contain the Flood, but it also held clear evidence of the Gravemind. The truth was horrific. The Flood's heightened consciousness controlled High Charity, and it was now headed toward Earth. In his own mind, the Prophet of Truth could not be stopped. While attempting to activate Delta Halo through Tartarus, the Prophet took the Forerunner Dreadnought at the center of High Charity and left for Earth. He recognized that the human homeworld held a gateway which would allow passage to the Ark and ultimately full control of the Halo rings. Arriving in the Sol system on November 8th, Truth quickly learned of another human threat which had stowed away on the very ship he had hoped would keep him safe. This situation was further compounded by the fact that this particular threat had already eliminated another prophet only days earlier. This threat was John 117, the Master Chief.
Sir, finishing this fight.
Concerned for his own safety, Truth and his local forces became preoccupied with finding and eliminating the Spartan on the vast Forerunner keyship. After exerting significant resources and believing the issue to be resolved, Truth ordered that they jump further in-system to Earth, pushing past humanity's already battered defenses. On November 17, 2552, the Spartan known as the Master Chief emerged from the shadows and was eventually forced to escape the dreadnought, falling into the dark and dense jungles of Eastern Africa. There, he would quickly reconvene efforts with Keyes and Johnson, teaming up with the Arbiter and chasing the Prophet to the Ark where Truth, the Covenant, and the Flood Parasite would eventually find their end.
Welcome to Breaking Down the Map. I'm Andy Bravo-Dadinsky, dropping knowledge to help you out in Halo 5 Guardians multiplayer. Right now, we're taking a look at Empire. If you were part of our Halo 5 beta, you may remember Empire with its futuristic industrial feel and wide sprint routes to satisfy your fast-moving Spartan. Let's go ahead and break down Empire's details, location by location. Starting off on either side of the map are the main bases, red and blue. You'll either spawn by the crashed Pelican on red side or the broken turbine on blue. Every assault and every base defense start at one of these locations, so make sure you know the quickest routes to get to the other parts of the map. From there, we can shift our attention to the outside area. Outside connects the red and blue bases and is a frequent spot for enemy engagements. Next to outside is Turbine, which provides some cover while trying to fight your way to Tower, just opposite of Turbine. Tower is a 3-level structure on the right side of the map. Similar to outside, it connects to both bases. However, with easy access to weapons and power-ups, plus clear lines of sight to both bases, controlling Tower is key to controlling the entire map. And I have to make sure I point out middle, where holding the top gets you a view of most of the map, and where holding the bottom can net you a sweet power-up. More to come on that later. But Bravo, I played the beta and I already know the map callouts. Well, first, stop whining, and second, I'm done with those. Now let's move on to weapons. Since we're dealing with some long distances on Empire, the battle rifle in the nest of either base should be the first weapon on your mind. You'll be thankful you picked it up after you faced off against someone with a good pistol, and you still win. Keeping the focus on rifle weapons, go and grab the DMR on level 3 of Tower. And while you're up there, take advantage of the elevation and put some shots into any opponents you lay your eyes on. Empire's main power weapon, the Plasma Caster, can be snagged from the outside weapon pad. As with all power weapons, pay particular attention to the timer in the bottom left,
10 seconds to Plasma Caster.
as well as the game's audio cues.
Plasma Caster is on the field.
With power weapons come easy kills, so knowing when they spawn is vital to getting one in your hands. Last but not least is the Overshield, located in bottom middle. Given its central location, expect to be naded, ground pounded, and picked off while trying to secure this highly contended power-up. Now that you've got locations and weapon spawns downloaded into your brain, it's time to go crush some Spartans in Strongholds. Given Empire's size, Strongholds can get intense. Your first priority should be to secure your base, then followed by the pit. While each team holds a base, holding the tower, especially Tower Level 3, can prevent enemies from pushing out and taking additional bases. On that same note, stick to the upper levels of the map. 9 times out of 10, the player with the higher elevation wins, and you'd be wise to use that to your favor. And of course, time the weapon and power-up spawns. When you're in a bind, having either the Plasma Caster or the Overshield can give you that extra push needed to capture a base. Empire could be the de facto arena map in Halo 5 Guardians, as it contains all the ingredients of a great competitive play space. Be sure to keep checking back to the Halo channel for more episodes of Breaking Down the Map. We'll see you then. I'm Andy Bravo Dadinsky, and this is Breaking Down the Map, the only show you need to take you to the top in Halo 5 Guardians. You may have noticed that some of the Halo 5 multiplayer maps have alternate versions. These remixed maps have similar elements, layouts, and configurations to their predecessors, but they have some key differences. Here is the remixed version of Empire. It's called Eden. If Empire had you feeling that the map was divided into sections, then Eden should make you feel like everything is connected. Eden has the same two base structures as Empire, red base and blue. But this time around, the bases connect directly to each other via two catwalks, one on the lower level of the turbine side and one on the higher level alongside security. Be careful when traversing either one, as you're vulnerable to cross-map shooting. Now, when compared to Empire, this space at Turbine has been expanded, and the turbine itself has been removed for easy access to the rocket launcher weapon pad. We'll talk about said rocket launcher in a little, I promise. Bottom middle now combines the yard and pit areas, and it's notably an area you will want to avoid unless you've got nowhere else to run. The elevation disadvantage makes you an easy target from above. As promised, it's now time to talk weapons on Eden, and a promise is a promise. Let's cut to gameplay. Eden holds two classic power weapons, the sniper rifle and the rocket launcher. And as an added bonus, the Hydra launcher. The sniper rifle can be found near Blue Nest on the top of the base over here. It's the perfect weapon for Eden due to the extended lines of sight and opposite spawning locations. You can pick up some long distance kills from across the map with a well-placed sniper shot. For more destructive power, head over to where you once found the turbine and grab the trusty rocket launcher. Well, trusty if your opponent gives you enough time to properly aim it at them. Thanks, mister. And for that bonus, the Hydra launcher is located in the center of red base. A great strategy from this spot is to aim the Hydra towards sniper spawn to discourage any enemies attempting to pick it up. Practice different firing options to maximize effectiveness. For you rifle fans, both the BR and the light rifle make an appearance on Eden as well. The battle rifle can be found at each base, one at Blue Yard, another at Red Bend, and a third at Bottom Middle. The light rifle can be found here at Red Nest. Everyone is going to be vying for the rifle, so make your shots count with these bad boys. Weapon options differ slightly with each game type selected, so let's take a look at a popular mode on Eden, Strongholds. While Eden and Empire are significantly different, one piece of advice remains constant. Stick to the higher elevations. Using elevation to your advantage, along with some well-placed rifle shots, will put your team in a position to hold down the map as well as your stronghold points. And in any objective game type, controlling the two power-ups on Strongholds is a standard tactic. The Overshield spawns opposite Red Nest and Red Sneaky, while the active camo spawns on top of this ledge near Top Catwalk. You know the mantra, time those power-ups. And finally, be aware of the spawning locations. Given the map's size, it's good to know where your opponents are spawning relative to your own location. You'll learn this by simple repetition, so keep playing Eden more and more and more and more. And more and more. Eden is one of the faster paced maps in Halo 5 and requires a nimble mind and even quicker reflexes. Remember to check back to the Halo channel often for more episodes of Breaking Down the Map. Thanks for watching.
Plasma caster up.
Double kill. Assassination. Reversal.
welcome back to the Halo HQ. I'm Bravo alongside Jay Frechette. Jay, my friend. Awesome to be back here with you once again.
Feels like we just did this.
Yeah, it does.
And here we are again.
It was November, now it's December. We thank you so much for tuning in to the December live stream. Right now we're showing off a sneak peek at the Cartographer's gift update. That's the real reason we're here today.
Absolutely. A lot of stuff to show.
Yeah.
Tons of stuff.
It's going to be great. We're also going to take a look at some new content and also talk about some of the news and community updates. And of course, Jay, one of our favorite parts, look at some community gameplay clips, one of the best parts of the show.
And we got a few more this time around, so we'll have a lot to look at.
Oh yeah, it's going to be good.
Pretty awesome.
Of course, we're also going to have some special guests as well as some sneak peeks. So let's talk a little bit about, Jay, today, about today's episode.
Yep.
First things first, we're going to take a look at Cartographer's gift. That's a December Halo 5 update that's coming. Lots of goodness in there. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yep.
Next, of course, we also have Forge with Mike, Byron, and Tom French. You met those gentlemen on the last show, so excited to talk to them. We're also going to play Battle of Noctis with designers Adrian Bedoya and Daniel Wixton, so it'll be great to jump into that map.
Yep.
Two maps that I'm super excited about coming in this update. We'll talk about the
We've
second.
been playing them kind of all week and capturing screenshots for it, so I'm ready for like a real match on both of these.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. We're also going to chat with Joe Staten.
The one and only.
That's right, Joe Staten
Incredible.
himself about Shadow of Intent.
Yep.
We're also going to play the new map, Overgrowth. Now, this is one of my favorite maps. It's a brand new arena map. It's the Plaza remix, but it plays entirely different. We're going to be talking with Sandbox lead Chris King and pro player Strongside, who's now on the 343 team. And we're also going to hear about the new controls, which is awesome. We just put out a blog earlier today. If you want to get a little bit of a sneak peek at what that's about, make sure you head to HaloWaypoint.com. You can check out the advanced controls blog that just went up about an hour ago.
Yep.
You can find out what's coming to Halo 5. And we're also, of course, going to take a sneak peek at future updates. I don't know how we get those. I haven't seen it yet, actually. The January update.
I have.
It's good?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, that's in store for the end of the show. And of course, you can, of course, send us in your Twitter questions to @Halo with the hashtag HaloLivestream. Let us know the questions you're wondering for Mike, for Tom, for Joe, for Strongside, everyone who's going to be playing today.
Yep.
Yeah, we want to hear your questions. We're going to be answering them throughout the show. Thank you so much for joining us here, whether you're watching on the Halo channel or Twitch. We're excited to have you. It's going to be a fantastic show. We have to say one thing, Jay. This is a historic stream, right?
It really is.
This is actually the last month that we are spending in this very building that you see behind us. If you've been watching Halo Vidocs for a while, you've seen this building for a long time. It's actually been the epicenter of Halo development since really very, very late in Halo 2, beginning of Halo 3, right? Yeah. Is when Halo started to be made in this building. And come next month, we are actually moving. We are moving to a new studio, which we're excited to show you, but it's also appropriate that we have a little bit of a proper send-off for this historic building that we're in. So excited for that. But let's talk about the Cartographer's gift. It's almost here. It's coming next week.
Woo!
It's a massive update. It has Forge. It's got brand new weapons. It's got the Mark IV, the Raijin armor sets. You've got all the Spanker rocket launchers coming back to the game.
Spanker's back!
It's beautiful, too.
Oh, my goodness. Look at
it. We're going to see it, I think, a few times today, I hope. Maybe we'll see it in Forge. I think we'll see it on some of the maps we're looking at. It's going to be awesome. We've got 2 BTB Forge maps, Antifreeze and Entombed. We've got Overgrowth, brand new arena map, Battle of Noctis, coming to Warzone. Like you see on your screen, the Mark IV looks so good from Halo Wars 1. That could be my go-to armor soon. It's not yet, of course,
I wouldn't blame you for that.
I think it could be. We also got the gold standard weapon skins that are coming. We've also got, look at this, armors, helmets, visor coming. We've got new emblems. The coned emblem is back. Those assassinations are mean. They are nice try, I know, Snap. They are ruthless.
We'll show you those
All
later.
the numbers are back, and of course, the classic BR that refers to the scope on that weapon. You're going to see that, I believe, later today, too. Hopefully, someone will equip that before the show is over.
Yes.
Forge, though, I cannot wait to show off Forge. You might have seen GameSpot's video earlier today, where we showed off just a little bit of Forge. You see some things. I mean, there's tons of new stuff. I don't even think we should try to talk about it because Tom and Mike have been building this thing for the past 3 years. It is a brand new Forge. It is truly, I think, the biggest overhaul, not only to the Forge feature, but maybe any Halo feature, I might even say in history, right? It has been totally gutted and made with both how can power users, how can the best Forgers use it better, and how can normal people like you and I, who are not super forgers, as well as many of you joining us, how can we use Forge in awesome ways too? So not only is it deeper, but it's also easier to use, which is incredible. I can't wait to show that off later today.
I can't wait to see what you guys are going to make with it.
Yeah, there's, I mean, community content coming out of Halo 5 Forge. We absolutely can't wait. The mini games, especially when we get new modes online, bringing those all together to see modes constantly being developed is going to be fantastic. Another thing we got to talk about, though, Xbox 360 game backward compatibility. Halo Wars and Halo Reach are both due to come out soon on Xbox One. So to do that, you just take your disc and you put it in the Xbox One. That's how it works.
That's not hard.
No, it's pretty simple.
That's what I'm doing.
So those are going to be coming on soon. Of course, we're working with the folks over at Xbox to find out exactly when we're going to be able to get those online on your Xbox One, but those are indeed on the way. On the topic of HCS and Halo World Championship, we just announced that the prize pool is now over $2 million. Much in thanks to your RECPAC crowdfunding.
It's amazing.
It is climbing like crazy. Who knows what number we'll end up at?
We're what, 6 weeks out from
I'm
launch?
slightly worried about how much money we're going to be giving away to some of the best Halo players. It's getting to dangerous levels.
There's going to be some weird stuff they're going to do with that. Yeah.
So many of the guys you see on your screen, you've been watching them for years. They're going to be taking home ridiculously large cash prizes come March, which is when the finals are. But qualification is now underway across the globe. So players are qualifying with MLG, ESL, and Gfinity in every region in the world right now. If you do want to sign up, you still can. Just head to halo.gg to learn more and sign up as well. Also, Jay, we have not announced this yet. This is a brand new reveal here on today's live stream. I believe during the stream, we're going to be turning on daily win packs, which is a brand new feature coming to Halo 5. It's going to be for Warzone and Arena. So all you have to do is jump into the game, and as soon as you win your first Warzone match and your first Arena match, each you'll get a rec pack for, right? So that's your daily win bonus. So I think it's something that the guys have wanted to get. The services team has wanted to get online awesome. With the multiplayer team. We've also seen community feedback about things like daily challenges coming back, right?
Sure.
So winning your first match every day in each will get you your daily win bonus. So starting after today's stream, you can jump right into Halo 5 and you'll be able to get your pack.
Oh, that's what I'm doing after the stream.
Yeah, I think that's what we're both going to do.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, we hope you will join us as well online. But speaking of, we also have a brand new weekend Arena breakout hopper. So a little bit of backstory on this one. Have you played it yet?
Awesome.
I don't think you have.
I'm super excited for it. I love the combination of the two.
I think it's quite cool as well. I think before the game came out, pro team, multiplayer team did a lot of testing with what can we do with Breakout, how exactly should we run Breakout, and something we've been playing recently is Arena Breakout, which is kind of the working title for the game type. But it takes the Breakout rules and fuses them with Arena settings. So we're talking full shields, normal damage, pistol AR, and then puts them on Arena map. So what you get is pretty much your elimination style gameplay, still with that neutral flag. So now that all of you players at home have kind of mastered these maps, the result when we take Breakout and we put them on, so the other benefit is you get your Breakout audio, you get your Breakout UI, so you know how many players are alive, right? So it's even deeper than past elimination experiences. You always know exactly how many players are alive. But it's awesome. Super intense matches all week long. So we want to get your feedback in matchmaking. So we've thrown it in. You can get increased XP if you play. It's going to be available all weekend long. And that's Arena Breakout. It's kind of new. It's different. And that's really what the weekend social playlist, the weekend playlist is for. We're going to be making that playlist social as soon as social playlists come online. But
sounds great.
That's really what it's for, right? To make it a test bed for fun game types. And once Forge comes online as well, fun community maps and stuff like that, I can't wait to get that into matchmaking as well.
Yeah, it feels like sky's the limit with that.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of social, BTB goes social next week with the update, as well as we're going to have another social playlist coming online too. Be on the lookout for those details. We also have been running this is a long community segment, I apologize.
The blog was like...
We've got a lot of stuff coming.
Read the blog. If you guys have not seen the blog,
some
great interviews on that. There's just a ton of cool stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
keep it going, Bravo.
So, I'm going to
keep it going.
We've also been running some matchmaking tests for a variety of different regions across the globe. We ran a few yesterday. They were really successful. Positive results we're hearing from community, from the kind of the regional leads, as well as the data that we're seeing. So we're going to be continuing to analyze those results and making sure that we're finding the perfect amount of matchmaking times while still balancing skill matching. So do want to let you know that the tests we ran yesterday, we saw positive results. So we're going to be seeing, talking more about those in the coming week to adjust those parameters globally. Last thing, no, it's not the last thing. I'm just kidding.
No, there's never a last
Almost
thing.
last thing. Tons of UI updates. I won't go through all of them. There's tons of great UI things that the UI team has been working on. I talked about it in my blog last week, but something I'm super excited about is whenever I see a thread on the Waypoint forums, Reddit, Twitter, about UI changes, I usually email the UI team and then they respond with a link to the bug and that it's already been fixed and they've already made improvements. December update has a ton of UI updates coming with it. Let's see, I have a few of them here. We won't run through all of them, but things like rec points and number of unopened rec packs are going to be visible. Fire team sorting, friend status is big. Now you can see what your friends are doing in Halo 5 when you hover over their name.
Huge.
I know that's a big thing people have been wanting.
That's awesome.
Also new friend sorting. This is big. Rec rarity and description. So you'll now see going to be visible for all recs when opening a rec pack. So you want to know how much does it cost, how rare is it, right? All that stuff. Rec energy cost. So additional controller settings, which we're going to talk about soon, are coming online. Lots of things for spectate and theater, also new location callouts. So something else we saw was players wanted the bottom left location callout to stay on screen after you die, right? You want to be able to say,
sure,
I just died in Red Nest, and there's 2 there, right? So
that.
that location callout is going to be on screen almost all the time now, which is great too. New elements in the scoreboard, so you can quickly see at a glance who is the leader in each category. Some really cool stuff is coming online for UI. Not only in December, but long term as well. The way the UI team is handling updates, really excited about, and hope that you guys are too as well.
Sounds like it's going to be huge for future broadcasts as well, as far as being able to share information post-content report and things like that.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. And I think the new spectate tools that are coming, we have new hidden camera control changes. So you can actually, instead of having to scroll through the D-pad, you can actually jump to players. We'll have a blog explaining that too,
huge.
Which is great as well for
awesome.
broadcasting, as well as just if you want to view at home. Next, this is brand new too. Spartan Company service records and accommodations. So when we first announced Spartan Companies, we know you guys. Oh, it looks like Web Team
Spartan
is excited
Company team
about,
behind us is happy about that. Yes.
About accommodations coming online as well. So Spartan Company team, we know first of all that you guys want a lot more when it comes to Spartan Companies. It's sweet to be able to organize online and get things going, but we know you want more. We know you want more things in the game as well. So the first of many updates is going to be collective company stats now being tracked, right? So you can actually see a full service record for your company. But this is really cool. Earned company commendations. There's going to be about 50. So actual commendations that have rewards, including rec packs, XP, and other things that apparently we're being told we can't talk about just yet.
More to come.
The stream would be ended immediately if we mentioned them.
Yeah,
but
they're right behind us. They can shut us down.
They would be really upset. But you can go ahead and send us your Twitter questions, of course, throughout the entire show. Just tweet at Halo with the hashtag Halo Livestream. I think, Jay, believe it or not, that does it for my long laundry list of community updates and news. And I have to say,
we needed 2 cards for that.
We do, and we're not even scratching the surface with the things that are to come. We haven't really even announced all the Cartographers gift stuff just yet. There's a lot of stuff coming. I'm super excited about it. I think I'm exhausted, but I'm super excited about what is coming in this game.
I am too, and you'll be a great palate cleanser to that.
Some community clips. All right. First one is going to be coming from Assassin J. Oh, fantastic. JV11. That was good. Elegant Warden Assassination.
I love this clip so much.
All right, let's take a look at this. Let's see exactly how this goes down. First of all, this ghost work is incredible. The double splatter, tumble,
triple
boom.
Splatter.
The elegance of that tumble and walks up for the Warden Eternal Assassination. I mean, that's what I call, Jay, arriving in style, right?
And you can see the red guy that died over there too. They were so close. That classic, like stealing the boss.
And they go on and they get the win in Warzone. I have to say, that was quite a way to roll up.
The fact that he just like off a tumbling ghost just rolls right into an assassination.
Yep.
Like,
this is good. It's great stuff there from Assassin. Awesome. Now this is Bradley Freakin with a freaking railgun rampage.
Yes.
Let's see exactly what he does here. As I believe he's got the whiplash in hand. He's going to do something. Obviously, this thing has 2 shells. It shoots super fast. So you could do some serious damage here in Warzone. People are trying to slide at him, take him down in some way, but he is not missing at all. Take a look at this. I believe he just hit the overkill. Yes, indeed, gets the kill tack and just making a mess of everything. No, he's not done yet at all. Just going to keep firing. Goes to cover for a brief moment, and now he's just shooting across the map. As you see, just picking up.
Did he miss?
I think he only missed once.
Wow.
Which is pretty incredible. So freaking nice plays there, Bradley Freakin. And this one is Mini Man 34. Now you might have already seen this one, mainly because we showed it in a written community update, and it got international media coverage on the internet. It is well deserved. Take a look at this. He has 24 kills in this match of FFA, so only needs 1 more kill to win. But he is getting chased down hard. Switched over to the plasma grenade, of course, because that's how you grenade weapons to yourself in Halo 5. Only can you use those weapons. Turns around and hits the no-scope there, gets the Combat Evolved medal. And look at that pair, that winking pair comes up to seal the deal. That was a pretty incredible clip there from Miniman. We're going to show that one more time here. If you want to watch that once again, I mean,
Combat Evolved is one of my favorite moves.
It is. We got to give a shout out. I believe it's all the work of Quinn DeLoyo for the design work on that. You have to get the plasmas if you want to grenade the weapons to yourself and time ridiculous plays like this. I mean, that's effortless.
The no-scope, though.
That is an effortless no-scope. It looked like it was all set up. Set up.
I didn't see the no-scope the first time we watched that clip.
No.
I thought it was Combat Evolved. I was like,
right.
Sweet Combat Evolved.
It was
just threw right at it.
A sweet kill indeed. But I think now we're going to talk a little bit of recollection. Now, Jay, in the last episode, we took a look at your recollection.
We did.
I believe in this episode, we're going to take a look at my recollection.
So I'm still getting friend invites and messages.
Are you?
Just thank you guys.
So maybe I'll get some.
That's just awesome.
I probably have notifications on, so we might have to once again turn them off, we'll have to see. But
it's a live stream.
Let's go ahead and jump and take a look at some stuff here. So we'll go ahead and grab this controller
down there.
And we'll take a look at exactly what I have here in my collection. Let's see. So I guess we'll just go ahead and we'll go into maybe.
I like your armor choice there.
So yeah, let's talk about
stance.
We
Great
can talk
on
about
both.
Thank you much. I like the stance as well. Kind of shows off the HCS shoulder really well. So of course, the armor set I'm rocking here is the HCS armor, the body.
Yep.
And it looks like
and it has begun.
And here we go. Here come the. So let's see. We can go ahead. Jay, do you remember exactly where
that did not take it long.
notifications?
You go to the
where
left.
Notifications
I know that.
lived. Yes. And then we go down to here.
Yes.
Oh boy, almost
all
restarted
set.
the console. It would not have been good.
That would have been
It should be maybe preferences, notifications. All right, here
right there.
Here come. Well, we promise for next time we'll turn these off beforehand, but we'll let everyone get their.
Someone wants to play Halo 5 against you right now.
No, they want to play with me, dude. They don't want to play.
There
against
is no
me.
playing against Bravo.
No,
guys.
no. They just want to play. They
just
want to play with us. Okay, so back to the recollection. So I want to show this off a little bit. First of all. I don't get to play enough, so I'm a level 26. I'll be the first to admit it.
I was like 15 last time. Dude. Don't even feel bad.
There is, there is the old adage that once you join the game industry, you play less games. We spend a lot of time making Halo, not enough time playing it. But regardless, I have the Santa Claus, the Spartan Claus emblem. You got to grab it, of course. That emblem is available in Halo 5 right now. If you jump into Halo 5 anytime now through end of the month, you'll be able to grab it. So make sure you grab your Spartan
After that,
Claus.
you just look silly.
And there's also, of course, the this candy cane emblem, which we'll show as well. But so I have the HCS Athlon armor set, which I love, and I just got this Warrior helmet. It's not a super rare, it's not a legendary, but I love it.
I remember that from the Halo 4 days. It was one of my favorites.
I love it. I think it looks great with the HCS armor set as well.
Agreed.
That's definitely one of my favorites. Other than that, Jay, I happen to like the Athlons quite a bit.
Yep.
I think they look great. They're not quite as sleek as the armors that you usually like to rock, though.
It's sporty though, which I think fits the whole HCS competitive theme. Like it looks like a sports outfit.
It does indeed. I have to say, I also I love this EVA. We'll throw that on for just a moment. Looks really sweet, mainly because the secondary colors look so good. In terms of helmets, I went back and forth, but the Warrior Shield right now is kind of my go-to. That blockiness, it's probably my favorite helmet that came out of Halo 4.
Yep.
Other than that, I think it really is my favorite. Of course, we have all the Athlons. We also got, of course, I got the Scout helmet, which is pretty sleek. But my go-to right now is the Warrior Shield, so I'm going to leave that on as well. For my visors, I don't have really the dark visors just yet. I kind of go back and forth between Regnum, False Dawn, and Independence, depending on what I'm rocking. But of course, the Wild Hunt is also good as well. I just got that in one of my Warzone rec bundles.
I think that's the one.
As well. And then in terms of emblems, we should show off just these two holiday emblems, right? We've got the Spartan Claus emblem right now, which I have rocked out in the black, gray, and white. Also have the candy canes, which you can throw on. I have to say, my color set is currently set though to really make the HCS logo pop. Which I like as well. So I believe that's Salt, and I can't remember the secondary actually.
Very monochromatic.
Let's see, it's Salt and Sporty is the style. So yeah, it's that monochrome logo, but we'll stay holiday themed for now, and maybe we'll go over to some, we will go over to the emblem and we'll stay holiday themed right now because we are well into December.
It's the holidays.
But I believe we have enough, maybe we can open up a gold pack. Does that sound good?
I think you got it.
I tried to play a lot. I tried to play a lot this morning, but I think I only have enough for 1 gold.
What are you hoping for?
Wait, should we open the silver first? Let's
feel
open
like
the silver
first.
first.
You get the certification.
Maybe we'll get a cert here. All right, we're gonna open up the silver first. See what we might be able to unlock here. Maybe get a cert. There we go. And we get the beam rifle cert. Okay, sweet. Got the air assault as well.
Is a good piece of armor.
Yes, indeed. Let's take a look down the line. Oh, a little a rare RP boost. I'll take that indeed. A few cells, a few keeps here. But gotta say, grab that beam rifle cert and the silver.
Nice.
And now we'll go ahead and open up this gold. You were asking if there's anything I'm hoping for.
Yeah, what do you want to see here?
Oh man, I want to see some.
What's
I want to see
on
some
your
freaking
wish list,
mythics,
Bravo?
man. Are you kidding? I want to see some mythics in this thing.
Okay, let's go.
All right, let's go ahead. The moment of truth. And the reflection and the lemon head. I gotta say it. No mythics.
Dude, Blaze of Glory.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I do the Lawgiver and the Blaze of Glory. I love running into Warzone Assault, shotgun in hand.
Yes.
As we take a look down the line, good random,
Light of
rare
Earth,
random vehicle.
That's a good fuel rod cannon too.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll take a look. We'll throw this reflection visor on. So. Yeah, that's kind of my collection right now. I hope by the time that we are in the new studio and the January update, I hope the holidays allow me to get on a serious grind so that I can impress everyone even further.
I'm loving.
And Jay, I think everyone at home
packs,
Jay, is expecting that you will have a sick recollection by then too.
It's my New Year's resolution for 2016.
It's a good one.
I don't want to.
But
be
make
up
sure
here
you
again
start
with Quinn
before then,
looking
because
down on me.
after New Year's, then we only have a few days before we come back to work. So you're gonna need to grind in December too.
True. That is true.
That's right. All right, let's go ahead and get ready to talk a little bit more about Cartographer's Gift. A big part of today's show is going to be looking at that update. So let's roll tape.
Let's see it.
Xbox One exclusive.
All right, Jay, so tons of goodness coming in Cartographer's Gift.
That's a cool trailer.
First thing we're going to talk about is the Mark IV Gen 1. It's a legendary mythic. It's sweet. It's probably the one armor set right now that I would replace my HCS armor and my warrior helmet for. The Mark IV looks fantastic.
Yes.
The Raijin armor set is also sweet. That's kind of another fantastic one. We also got 2 assassinations. We've got Nice Try and Oh Snap, which are some brutal assassinations.
Yeah, we'll see those a little bit down the road. We're looking at Antifreeze.
Yep.
Right now, this is one of the Forge maps, the BTB maps that will be coming out with the release.
Yeah,
setting that Glacier, probably my favorite.
Yeah,
palette
yeah,
out
it's
of
a
the group.
fantastic looking canvas. So got to give a shout out to Warholic, who came to the studio many months ago to start designing that map with us. He's a very talented forger, and then the 343 dev team took that and then ran with it, right? While also still working with him on finishing that map. So it's going to be one of 2 BTB Forge maps added. But got to talk about those assassinations. Nice Try and Oh Snap are brutal assassinations.
That team is not disappointing.
No.
With those assassinations.
We just saw them for the first time yesterday.
Yes.
They look fantastic. So
Incredible.
excited about those.
Yes.
We've also got the gold standard.
Oh, there it is,
here they
right
are.
there.
Okay, so the O Snap. Take a look at this. I mentioned it to you yesterday. This actually happened to my arm last year. I got it stepped on in indoor soccer. I didn't get the knife through the skull, but I did have my arm totally snapped, and I couldn't really use it at all. So I know how half of that assassination feels.
And this, we're seeing this on the Overgrowth map as well right now.
And that slow down there, it's a brutal assassination. You're going to want to enable assassinations if you grab that one. The next one is, and then of course the Nice Try assassination,
This one is
which
just
is equally as
bonkers,
look at this.
man.
I mean, this one's nuts. It's full on crazy. You see this? The stomp there has an extra little bit of I'd say excessiveness.
Yes.
That you're going to lay down on the battlefield. So this is, look at the arms hanging. The last moment of desperation.
No, you're done.
That is the Nice Try assassination. That's also coming in the Cartographer's Gift. I could watch that over and over again.
I really could. I love how
until the point where I might get sick.
I get the Nice Try now because he's the guy receiving the assassination is trying to do a roundhouse kick at him.
Right, and it doesn't work.
Which is
it
not.
doesn't work
it
at
doesn't
all.
work.
So that is brutal. We've also got the gold standard weapon skins. These are sweet. Actually, some people were saying they liked the Champions bundle skins. Do you remember those Halo 4 skins?
Yes, absolutely.
They looked a lot there. I believe they were steampunk, right?
Yes.
So this is a little bit of that same visual style, but much more sleek, and it still has that metallic look. So this is the gold standard set. You and I were saying yesterday that if you kind of want something that pops a little bit on the battlefield, but is still subtle, the gold standard is kind of really cool. And of
I liked
course,
how you also like it's like the luxury skin, like the
yeah,
Cadillac of weapon skins.
This
in
is
the
your
Alien
luxury
universe right
skin.
now.
It's got an AR, a BR, a DMR, a Magnum, and an SMG.
Gorgeous.
Yes, indeed. We also got the classic BRs. Now, what's classic here is the classic scope.
Yep.
So I believe we're going to try to show it off today. Hopefully someone has it unlocked in the builds that we're going to be playing. But you've got the classic scope on the bayonet. You've also got the laser targeter, the long barrel, the recoil compensator, and the silencer. So that's all going to actually have the classic scope. When you zoom in, it's going to go full classic. So hopefully we can show that off later today as well. But Jay, next up, we should talk about the Spanker rocket launcher.
Dude, like, it's great to see it back.
The dual tubes of amazing
I mean, just soak it in, guys. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's so wonderful to see it again. What we're seeing right now is the classic Spanker that we all know and love. That's in all the Halo games. But that's not all you're getting. We also have the variants. So we're looking at other versions like the EM. This has an extended mag. You can fire, you see it right here, 4 shots without having to reload.
And then right here, the Spanker EX. This is an ultra rare look. And I have to say, Christmas as
well.
That thing is pretty. You're going to want to unlock that during the holiday season.
With cluster bombs after. Look at that.
Brutal.
Dangerous.
Brutal. Lays down. And then lastly, the legendary mythic Spanker Prime is here as well. So these are a fantastic.
Look how fast those rockets go.
Set of Spankers.
Love it.
So really, really, really good stuff there.
And there she is.
Once again, showing now. This is the Mark IV that we talked about earlier.
Oh, baby.
Looks pretty darn good. Worth noting that Spanker actually is going to be available on some arena maps, right? I believe.
Yes, yeah. We'll see
so
it
you'll
in
be able to
BTB.
use. That's right.
Yep.
And the other Spankers, of course, are going to be exclusive to Warzone. But we're now looking at that Mark IV, which looks fantastic. That the guys in the back just found a video for. So I'm very thankful.
Yeah, that they managed to get that out there. It's really great.
Which is awesome. Yes. Gotta say, I think we're gonna be ready for some questions from Twitter soon. Remember, you can send your Twitter questions in at Halo for hashtag Halo Livestream as well. But next up now on stream, we're gonna be taking a look at a few more of these pieces of armor as well. That's coming in Cartographer's gift. Right?
Here we see Raijin making
right.
its appearance.
Yeah,
there'll be a few variants of that as well that you'll see in the update.
With the blue lighting too, that is majestic. Now, Jay, you are that sleek, sporty armor guy. How do you feel about this one? I feel like this is kind of yours.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do that. I'd probably do a different helmet. Because I always like sort of mismatching the armor and helmets.
Tight torso. I mean, that just says Jay Fresh.
I don't know, though. I mean, Mark IV has been my favorite Halo armor for years.
I don't know. Look at that. That is lean and mean.
But that does, yeah. This is definitely my style. It's very svelte.
But you're thinking about going.
Love that silhouette.
But you're thinking about going Mark IV.
I might do the Raijin armor with the Mark IV helmet.
All right, we'll have to see how it looks. We'll take a look at it.
Might have to try that out.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it the January update. Those are some big old thighs. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready for the next up on the show. This is, I have to say, what many of you may have came for today. It's why
I'm here.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's exactly why I showed up today. I want to learn more about Forge.
Yep.
We know all of you at home want to learn more about Forge, so super excited right now to introduce Tom French and Mike Byron. We have Tom French, of course, the UGC design lead. Good to see you, Tom. So good to have you back on the show. Mike, you as well.
It's always a pleasure.
It's going to be fantastic.
What's up,
and I think today is particularly exciting, right, because Forge is only really a few days away.
Yeah, it's close.
Last month when we saw you, the finishing touches were getting put on, but today we're going to take a little bit more of a closer look at Forge, as well as the BTB maps that we have coming, which is pretty darn exciting.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be fantastic. I think the first thing we're going to look at is Entombed. This map coming in. This is going to be inspired by burial mounds, right? And built by Duquesne 23. By the way, Duquesne 23's birthday today.
Oh,
so a big,
happy
birthday.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
A big shout out to Duquesne 23,
Awesome.
community forger who helped really design the initial layout for this map here at 343 in the summer. Fantastic that we can give him Forge news on his birthday. He's also been making demands, though. He's asking for his character in Forge.
God, very demanding.
Every day on Twitter.
Today, I'm only allowing it because it's his birthday. Normally, I would yell at him, but this is a map that he worked on that the 343 MP team and you guys also collaborated on. Tell us a little bit about Entombed.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really fun map. He did a great job kind of setting it up originally. And then we handed it off to our guys to really just kind of take it the rest of the way. Adrian and actually Max Grossman both worked on this one. It's really cool. It's on our space-themed map Parallax. You can see we have custom kind of one-off rocks for the space theme to kind of give it that moon feel. We went asymmetrical with this map so that it's not just all symmetrical maps. It has a lot of fun play. Also, since the Spanker's coming out this month, I did a little bit of hand wringing and a little bit of trading here, and we got the Spanker in the level along with Forge.
All right, so they'll be able to actually use that Spanker in Arena BTB.
Yes, they will be able to use the Spanker.
I think a lot of people will be excited about that. Now, this is Antifreeze. This is coming from Warholic. another amazing community forger. This map inspired a little bit by Avalanche, right? A pretty fantastic map here.
A little bit of everything. He kind of just went off on his own, and it's fantastic. He had a great time doing it.
Yeah, I'm excited to jump into this. I think it has some neat vehicle routes around that bottom throughout the course as well, and some power weapons waiting for you up top too.
Yeah, I mean, what we liked about this map is it's really like an infantry-focused BTB map with just a little bit of vehicle gameplay. And this central area really leads to a lot of really cool fighting and stuff. It's a really fun map.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be Entombed and Anti-Freeze that are going to be coming with the Cartographer's Gift update. 2 new BTB Forge maps that are coming. 2 of 4 maps that are coming also have Overgrowth and Battle of Noctis, which we're going to see later on in today's program. But let's get to the meat of today's show. Once again, thank you so much for joining us on Twitch and the Halo channel. You're about to take a look at Halo 5's Forge. Tom, I think we're ready actually to take a look at
you made something special for us for the stream.
Yeah, so I spent the past few days kind of just putting together a map to kind of demo everything. It's a lot of the stuff that we talked about in the blog, but actually, getting to see it live will be really cool. So yeah, I spent a bunch of time building that.
Sweet, awesome, man. I think some people might have seen the Forge video that GameSpot just put up today, which kind of showed off a lot of things. If people who were really looking through those menus, I think, found a lot of stuff, right? Brand new controls, tools, fields, so much goodness. I mentioned in the first part of the show that I'm not even going to try to explain it all because the feature set gets so deep.
We don't actually even have time to kind of talk about everything. I mean, really, we touched everything inside of Forge when we built this. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. So I think we're ready to go ahead and jump into Forge right now and take a look. You can kind of walk us through everything that's on the screen right now. Well, I suppose not everything because that might take several hours, but some of the stuff that people should be looking for in this brand new Forge.
Okay, I mean, so this map I built is, I mean, again, it's just kind of to show off stuff, but it's built on our Glacier canvas, which is one of our big 3 Forge canvases that we have, and there's 3 different times of days in here. And then additionally, we have the other Forge canvas we'd consider as a canvas is the breakout map, but it doesn't have the times of days. But it's really, that one's really specific for building kind of breakout arenas. But yeah, so I love this map. It's really big. It has a lot of different areas to work in. So what I wanted to start off with is kind of just showing like a lot of the core things that change. So we have a whole control helper, which you can see on the upper left that we put in to kind of take people that are new to Forge and also people that are like old Forge veterans to kind of walk them through how our new controls work and stuff. So we always had this kind of fluid movement in Forge, and so we really wanted to move that into all parts of our building rather than just kind of like locking onto objects and just single focused. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to take this little piece of the map that I kind of worked on. So I kind of built a little base with some natural terrain and little punk rock snowman right there. With grenades.
I was going to ask, this guy's fantastic.
Yeah, he's
really
pretty fun.
cool.
So, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of now, how would I take this and start to kind of dupe out the second half of the map? And so first thing I can do is I can just start selecting pieces. So I can just hit the bumper to select a piece, the right bumper, and just keep selecting pieces, or I can hold it down and do what we call paint selection. So now I can just keep holding down. We had this mentality with our controls where we wanted it to be like, if you think about typing, right? If you type correctly, you keep your hands in what they call the home position, right? And so this, my hands don't have to move off of the comfortable position that you play Halo. So basically, I just selected everything in that map, which is fluidly editing things. And if I accidentally, like, maybe I grab the trees and I don't want to dupe those, I can just toggle it again, and it will turn it off so it's not selected. Or I can hit the left bumper and basically drop everything. But so now I've got like my terrain selected here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group this. And so now it will behave essentially as one object. And so when I duplicate it, oops, I kind of shoved myself into the middle of it there. Let me fly up a little bit higher. So I'm out of the way. And so there are things even to make it feel like the old Halo. So like I can click onto an object and lock onto it and rotate the camera around.
Oh, nice.
Which is just to kind of make like the old initiated kind of feel comfortable inside of here. So now what we have is kind of modal-based or shift-based kind of selection or movement mechanisms and stuff like that. So if I hold down my right trigger, I can now rotate it, and I have it on rotational snaps of 90 degrees. Oops, I kind of did that in a very weird way. Let's flip that back over. So if I flip it, it's harder to see from here.
180.
There you go, 180. There we go. So now I flipped this whole piece around 180, and you can see here that the terrain, the projection terrain.
Let's talk about that projected terrain because we've shown, I think, a little bit in the GameSpot video, and we kind of talked about it. But I think this is the first time we can actually show it
live.
Yeah, the terrain is probably in my opinion, it's one of my favorite features that we have.
Yeah, so I can like blend it in as I move around, and then I want to keep this up so it kind of matches with the other piece that I built. But yeah, so it samples the terrain under it, and I'll show you some of the other pieces actually from the other canvases as I do the demo. So now I'd have like, I've got pretty cool. I connected those 2 sides of the map, and I've got that pretty simply built. And then now we'll take like the base that I built. So I built this cool little base out of a lot of our primitive pieces and some of our structural pieces and accents. So I can just take that as well. I can duplicate that, and now I have a piece of that as well.
And now your map is done.
Yeah, I mean, can we talk about how long that would have, I mean, to do all of that, again, would literally require, in previous Forges, a piece by piece
Yeah,
build.
it's brutal. It was brutal, and like we weren't a fan of that. We wanted to make everything kind of fluid and fast, so I flipped that around 180 degrees.
And that is 100% symmetrical, right?
Yep, that is 100% symmetrical. And then so I've got it in precision. And you can move it around pretty quickly by like boosting it around, which is another way you can move. Or I can, if I want to be really precise, I can move slow movements and stuff like that. So I'll just kind of line it up roughly to where I was. We're not going to actually play this today, so I don't need to be perfect. So that's pretty cool. Now we've got a
now
base.
Now you have a map that's symmetrical.
Yeah. And then basically what you'd want to do from there is, okay, I can take this object, even though this is multiple objects combined together in one group, I can go to the object properties and treat it as if, I can edit the properties as if I'm editing one object. So we're going to go into the colors, and right now there's multiple colors to each of these. And so I'm going to flip this over to base 2. And you notice that basically the whole base just went blue because the secondary colors were mapped to that.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. And then, this is what we call reference colors. And so this is the base reference colors for base 2. And so what it can be is like, oh, my map, I'd like to make, I don't like this blue for my base 2. So I can go to our maps options, which is like, this is the stuff that gets stored out with the map settings. Yeah. So this is like how you can change your lighting theme. You can change the different types of fogs. You can change your clouds, the winds. There's so much like weird little details that we buried in here. But then I go, let's change my base 2 reference color. I'd like that to be a little bit darker. Kind of gives it a little more mood. Or what? I don't like the wall color. So let's play with my walls and find something that I like, and then maybe get my floors maybe a little bit different color. So, I mean, I didn't make a real noticeably cool change there. But again, I changed something quickly, and then because they're all referenced, again, it references over on this part of the map, and I can just change the map really quickly.
And if you wanted to have those on independent, right, you could just change the reference.
Yeah. So yeah, I could just go through and actually individually assign each of the colors on them, and a lot of the objects have 3 different colors, which is kind of cool, so you can really personalize each piece.
We tried to make it so that almost every object that you can use in Forge has the color selection to some extent.
Yeah. Even gloss, there's a gloss and matte values that we have on most of them as well. So we just want to, again, just give personalization.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the reference colors is when you have, we have what, 120 colors now?
Well, actually, here's a perfect spot to show you.
So yeah, we have here. This is great. This is showing off these are our color palette for Forge right now. Cool. We have all of these colors, and so it's really nice to be able to set a reference color so that you can be like, I want my walls to always be this shade of gray or this beige, and then from there you never have to worry about fumbling through and trying to find that specific color every single time for every piece. You can just set it once and then have that as a reference color and kind of forget it and be like, oh.
Set it and forget it.
Exactly. Set it and forget it.
We should trademark that. This is actually how I organized the colors in the game. Is actually I just started placing blocks. We had the 128 colors that we wanted to use, and I just started to organize them to kind of make them have a flow. But I know it's kind of fun to just look at this kind of big palette of colors that you have at your disposal. Right. So I know Forge has never had that many options in it, so we'll meet that and move on.
Absolutely, yeah. I think, let's see. Oh, it sounds like we have, Jay, go ahead.
We do have some Twitter questions, internet questions, I should say, that are coming in. That I think is actually, this first one is pretty fitting for what we're talking about right now. This is from Reddit user, The Real Kids Today. What gave the team ideas for some of the new features that we've been seeing in Forge?
It came from a lot of places. We started a lot by kind of trolling forums and, talking to you guys, like, what do they want, right? And we really started our list with that.
Watched all the YouTubes.
Yeah, lots of YouTubes. And then, put on my game designer brain and really just sat down and I started the industry as a tool programmer, and so I was really fascinated and kind of obsessed with making really forward-facing tools. And so how can we make it friendly? How can we make it fun? And just really started this big giant blue sky document and then whittled that down to what can we do in this time frame that pushes Forge ahead, and that's what we really aimed and focused on.
Yeah, I think that first meeting that I remember having with you guys on the team maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
When you first laid out, hey, here are all the pieces we want to do, and we want to redo everything. We were just like, oh damn, this is this is going to be new.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy back then to just think all right, blue sky, what do you want to do, Tom? And he's like, here's everything new.
Just speaking about pieces, that's kind of where we're actually at in the little demo I built here. So. My first goals were really kind of making the ultimate building block palette, and so we have. These are just a couple of. This is one of each type of the primitives we have. So there's blocks and triangles and trapezoids. There's rings and different ratios of rings and cylinders and stuff like that. So these are really your kind of core building pieces. If you don't have an accent or a structure piece, you can always find something in here that fills your gaps. So that was kind of a good, those are good like simple building tools. And then that leads more to like our structural pieces. And this is just, again, this is just a small smattering of them. Like these are different kind of what we call accents that have a lot of different kind of kit bashability. You can flip these around in all kinds of different directions and make different uses. Like this one I use all the time for walls, but you can use it for just like a little piece of a tower structure and just keep adding onto it and shoving stuff into it. But there's a lot of different details in here, from even just columns. We just build a lot of stuff.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, what's the object count? I think the final object count was over 1,700.
It's over 1,700.
Yep. And counting.
And probably counting. Yeah. And that doesn't necessarily include like all the variants of like a warthog and stuff like that. It's pretty just, that's like the base level list.
Right.
So. Yeah, I mean, then there's like, I mean, we made bridge pieces instead of just making you use blocks. We made specific bridges and different types of railing and covers that you can put on them, or like we have different stairs and stuff like that, and like wedge pieces that if you use our new magnet system right here, you can just snap those on nice and easy, and they're all systemically thought out and built that way. Or like the railings, you just snap them on, and then you have your railings kind of built really quick and easy.
And speaking of the magnets, this was one of the cool things about having the Cartographers come out, is they started using the magnet system, which was more or less still the H2A one at that point. And they were really struggling with it just with our system.
It was bad.
It was bad. And so Ben Walker, the dev, he kind of went into his like little cave for 2 days and came out suddenly with this whole new smart magnet system that kind of predictively shows you where it's going to be, and it doesn't snap until you let go, so you can make sure that you have it exactly where you want.
And you can target like where you want it to go.
You can target which points you snap it to.
Right.
We kind of work to try and increase the precision on the object so that it doesn't have like weird missnaps as much and all that.
And it really helps with pieces like this. Like these are pieces, these new trim pieces that we came up with, which are just really cool little modular pieces where you can, again, just kind of think about kit bashing them in different ways. Oops, I flipped that to 90 degrees. And then like, oh look, now I have a different kind of awning or building structure. And they're super simple to use. And I don't know, that was kind of a goal, is how many different ways can we possibly use an object?
Yeah.
So.
And speaking of, I think maybe a good time to talk about FX, sound, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's more. I mean,
wait, there's more pieces.
There's always
more pieces. So yeah, so these are more natural pieces. So these are rocks from Alpine that we just didn't use. And then there's the asteroid kind of palette down there. There's also different trees and things like that we have. And these are things that we'll just keep kind of adding to along the way.
Yeah, and we actually saw, I think, one of the first uses you showed me, which is really cool with those rock pieces, actually building full tunnel systems, right?
Yeah, you can build all kinds
you
of stuff.
You can actually build structural systems with those, yeah.
And then so you can see, like, so these are actually from Alpine, but we had this mentality of like any object, any map. Yeah. So even the Alpine pieces, which do the same projection mapping that from the Alpine terrain sheet, you can use those in Glacier if you want to. And sometimes we do mismatch them, like in the shade if it's on Alpine.
Quinn did that really cool thing on Alpine where he added different snowbanks and Glacier terrain pieces to make it look like it was thawing in the spring. So anywhere where there were shadows from rocks or buildings, he actually laid out then more snow on top of it, so it like added that layer of depth and kind of made it feel like a custom one-off environment.
So yeah, and then now we're into like props, right? So we got some different animated props, and we got some giant cargo containers with different variations of open, close. The door is a different piece you can snap on. There's a vehicle size ones that you can stick a warthog into if you actually wanted to. There's various exploding props, and you can even change colors on these things, which is kind of cool. Like, just again, customize everything to make it personal and yours. So like, I could make an exploding barrel that's black if I wanted to, right? Make it fit your level. Different signage. Different interactive terminals, and like even we put some invisible objects in here. Like this is a switch you can hit for scripting, but like, so if I drop, but it's invisible in the game, you don't see it.
Right.
So it's just little things like that, or like even adding it so that like the stuff that is invisible at runtime, when I drop in, I don't see it. Oops, it's kind of hard to show here.
Yeah, this isn't the best way to show it, but that is a really cool thing that we came up with. Is we tried to make it so that when you went into Spartan mode to test things in Forge. All of the things that you wouldn't normally see in Slayer now automatically hide, so you don't have to worry about running around and seeing spawn points
running
and
over those,
all of the like named
cameras
location volumes and all of that stuff. It only shows you kind of what the output would be.
That's so rad.
I was like, saw that object and I was like, I must steal that for Forge.
Yep.
I mean, vehicle props. TV screens, because you got to have lots of TV screens.
And the TV screens are cool too, because you could combine a TV screen, which you can then color to give it a color that would glow, and then you could on top of that add an invisible button, and then suddenly you could have them go up and interact with the TV to do something in the game.
Cool. Or even have a green screen on the TV, whatever it is.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly. It gives a lot of options.
I mean, there's even actually literally green screens. We put chroma screens. It's something that the machinima community can really use, and they're actually even better than just green screens, because if you want to have a yellow screen, or you have that option, you can just change these to whatever you want. Like super versatile. They're fun because you can actually fly through them, so you can actually do like special effects and things like that, which is cool. Even invisible blockers. This is something that like the community's been begging for. Yeah, he loves these things.
Griffball community loves those invisible barriers.
And again, they hide at runtime, but like you can see them when you're forging, so they're super useful. Fun toys. There's the piggy.
These guys were just introduced today, I believe, officially.
Timmy's been announced for a while. Olive is a new addition.
Named? I think today might have been the day that
Timmy the Whale.
Timmy, I think, publicly was named today.
Yeah,
we called him Timmy for a while.
We now we can show off Olive finally.
And then she's actually part of the lore, which makes me excited, because I actually have a pig named Olive, and that's how she kind of came about, and we love her a lot. So my kids are going to be excited that Olive is now part of Halo canon.
Crane is another big one that I know the community guys have been wanting for a long time.
And it was just something we stole from a map. And what's cool is this thing's all just modular. It's actually multiple pieces. So you can kind of kit bash it and make it do whatever you want, which is rad. We have even just glass. Like this is something that the cartographers really want in community. And then the cartographers didn't have it when we were here, but we've actually added color change to it, which is super cool.
Yeah.
More personalization.
You can tint the glass. You can make it more opaque, more like less, more transparent. Kind of have a lot of kind of one-off control.
And and more importantly, not one, but two
cones.
traffic cones. So we definitely have improved Forge
with color change.
And color change. So yeah.
So not only does 2 cones come, the cone emblem's also coming in this update. So this is like a big update for the cone.
For the cone. The cone's really getting its own Halo history.
Hashtag cone back.
Yeah. Breakout pieces, all very modular. Like even the pieces to fit on the hypotenuse of a I know it's a nerdy word, but like we made shield pieces so that they would snap perfectly. Again, it's just really the best building system we could think of.
Right.
Decals was another way to kind of personalize things. This is a small kind of sampling of them. We have a lot of different sizes and shapes, and I know they're really fun. They add a lot of personality.
You
to
can
levels.
kind of put those flush against
anything, and it's cool because they eat the texture the texture behind it, so it makes it look like it's totally seamless.
And then I mean, even we didn't. I mean, again, we touched everything. So we even took like old things, like the shield barriers and stuff before. So these, like, if you're on the blue team, you can walk through them, which is cool. But the red ones I can't walk through, but I can shoot it out. So like just having little gameplay features. We blow through the thing. Okay, good. I blew through it. So now I can walk through it. Like just adding little gameplay elements, or like the teleporters. Like how did you figure out which way you came out of them? So we added a little arrow to show you where they come out. And then so if I drop, boom, I can pop over to the other one, and you can see this is an invisible one. And you can see we use a lot of iconography. So they're kind of clear and transparent. We call that ghosting, and that's an object that's not going to be there at runtime. So I can just, again, walk and use those. And you can hide them and do your own kind of special effects with them.
Right.
Or even like man cannons were another thing before. You used to have to kind of fiddle with them a lot. So we just made them
they only had preset kind of like strong, medium.
And so these, you can actually, let me ungroup these real quick. I could actually grab this and tune the different parameters to like control, oops, let me pop out of there. So like how far does it go? Right, I can change the
arc. And you get the trajectory.
Which is cool.
So
it's like
sweet.
A lot of fun.
I did not know about that.
It's super cool. And then even down to things, these are kind of hard to see, but like kill volumes and stuff, we put a lot of iconography on them so that they showed up really easily to see.
Rather than just these big boxes that are kind of see-through.
Yeah. And so they kind of tell that each of them has a little bit of a story and colors to kind of give you some idea of how
quick
it works.
reference, right? Yeah. Like I think Pro Forgers right away will know exactly what.
And on the building side for those sort of volumes, we did a really cool thing where you can set to always show your volumes, show them when you trigger over them, or if you're not really caring about volumes right now, you can set it to always hide. So as you fly around, it won't turn them on and off as you're trying to build. To just give you more control over what you're doing.
Sure. Which, when you were at a Final Forge map, hovering over those barriers was.
There's no reason to have that at that point. So you can turn that off if you want.
Or if you're laying your kill volumes out, you can turn them all on and see like, oh, that whole space is my space.
Right. Cool.
So one of the other features that's kind of cool is, so one of the things in Halo 4, every time you wanted to bake lighting, you know, every time you tapped down, it would do it.
Generate lighting,
so we
yeah.
changed it so actually if you tap down, you can just drop in. But if you hold it down, it will actually bake the lighting.
Full lighting.
So that gives you kind of a little more freedom to just kind of test versus actually like building to make sure you're getting something pretty.
Right.
So I get the lighting bake here to finish. Okay. So now I'll show you one of the enhancements we did to groups is this idea of welding.
Yep.
And so there's Timmy and Olive, and this is one of my favorite things to do is put effects emitters.
Yeah, we saw in this morning's video too.
We love putting sparks on their eyes.
Pretty much out of everything. So like if I took Olive here and I made her physical, you see the effects emitters just pop out of her eyes. And if I went over, even though she was a group and I knock her down the hill, sorry Olive, the effects emitters would still be on the ground. And they flew through the floor. So they're right there. But like now we have this idea of welding. So I can take like Timmy here, and if I make him normal physics, oops, I gotta put him to phase. If I weld him, and then I set him to normal physics, this is the welding thing that people are so excited about. If I do this, now when I knock Timmy down, you'll see the effects will follow him like attached to his eyes.
It treats it all as one object.
So that's kind of cool, right?
Oh, certainly, yeah.
I know, we can do it. That's something we'll just keep enhancing as we
Yeah, I
go
mean, some of the stuff you were showing us before release, even over the summer, was right, like welding these big like wheels that are attached to cranes that are like, I think the mini game potential.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential for that stuff.
It's pretty rad to keep those objects together.
So you can see, like, I just wanted to make this area kind of moody, so I made like effects emitters of steam and smoke along the way. And then, so this is kind of the last area we'll show you. Is so this is kind of simple scripting thing that I did.
Actually, it's perfect time. Actually, from Waypoint, Cam Ferg wants to know what new scripting things can we do in Forge.
So we've started basically a new scripting system where you can objects can send events and messages to each other, and then they can basically respond to those and perform an action. So they're conditions and actions essentially. And so like on this little terminal here, it has on interaction set the power to Zulu, which is one of our power channels. You can just toggle it back and forth. And then the door here watches for, oops, that's the wrong piece. I selected the wrong piece. Where's the door? There it is, it's in there. On, it's kind of hard to see here. On power state, Zulu, move up. So it moves itself up, and then on off, it moves itself back to where it came from. So this is the start to like, I'm obsessed with scripting. I think it's the way that people can really change the expectations of a level and map. And so this is something we're going to go crazy with as we keep building and do a lot more with it. So I mean, it's pretty simple right now, but it's pretty powerful even with just what's there.
Yeah, we even saw people doing incredible stuff. I think it was Halo 4's extraction, where they would wait for an extraction point to be extracted so that the extraction art objects would release and a new part of the map would open, right? But now people can just do all that.
We want to try to get, I mean, I love the Rube Goldberg stuff, and we want that stuff as well. I mean, I guess we really want everything, but that's my designer nature. But we want to make it so a lot of it's just easier to do, right?
Yeah.
Instead of having to set up these crazy machines, just let you build them and do them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then interiors were a big pain in the butt before, and so we actually have real lighting now. And so like this is actually a light in the room. And you can see like it has nice fall off, and when I bake the light, so it kind of gains shadows as it gets into the corner. And there's a ton of parameters on them to really control how they behave. So as I go into the next room here, this one's more strobing and flashing, a lot moodier. Feels like, a classic
horror film.
Horror
Sci-fi horror.
Yeah. So you can bake this into your level. Or if you really want to get a little crazier, you can start playing with the gobos, which projects textures down. And so, you could have the crazy like sci-fi room, which if I walk over in here, like it will start projecting and casting on my gear and stuff.
Oh, sweet.
Or, you could have your pulsing nebula. I don't know why you would have that, but you could totally have that. And they're all these are all just little objects.
And those are all just lights that are placed.
Yeah, like even that one has just, that has to have the, it has the, why am I forgetting what that's called right now? The lens flare on it. You gotta have a lens flare and stuff like that. And there's tons of different options for lens flares.
You have individual light control over lens flares, so you can make each light behave differently with
like
lens flare.
In this room, I kind of went nuts with it. So like if you were making a William Rieflin movie, like Only God Forgives or something, you could,
or J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams, you could do this. And so like there's the Abrams kind of style.
There's the Abrams lens flare.
Just full lens flare max.
And these are actually just objects that we have so that you can set dress with them as well, but then they feel kind of more grounded in your environment. So you can use like the invisible ones here to really just kind of light your levels like a lighter would do. But these really kind of make it more natural and organic, and then you can, again, change the gobos, and we have different types of effects and stuff on them, or you can play with all the 128 colors on them, add different, like that one kind of strobes and pulses, and then that one's That's like, we call that blacklight color because that's like the actual color.
It's kind of like your floodlight outdoor industry.
So like floodlight, but yeah, so it just, again, there's just, Forge has tons of different ways to personalize everything.
It does, man, absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Cool, absolutely. I think I'm taking a look at my list, and I think we...
Oh, I got one more.
Do you?
One more Twitter question.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Before we head out, I'm still just kind of soaking everything in, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
right now.
it's a lot.
Like,
And
that is, like, in the best possible way. Like, my mind's just kind of blown right now.
And what's also crazy is that, I mean, there's so many more controls, things,
yeah.
objects that we didn't even look at.
This is
today.
barely scratching the surface. We haven't talked about like wind
incredible.
and fog and clouds and I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah.
There's so many things, and I can't wait to see what people are making like next month, the month after, 6 months down the road.
Yeah, I mean,
I think people are going to continue to just find new things.
Yeah, I mean,
And surprise us, which would be cool.
Oh, absolutely. I think we on the community team, we already have kind of setting up, working with people here to be on the lookout for best community content, working with every community out there, including the top Forge communities, on finding the best content. How do we surface it up? How do we make sure everyone can grab it through file browser in game and other ways, even matchmaking as well. So I think, yeah, I mean, you guys have built such awesome stuff, and we can't wait to use it.
Yeah, we just want to see what people do with it. So.
Well, quick question from Twitter, from Forge Haven. Thank you for your question. We touched on this, I think, briefly. We know how Timmy the Whale came about, and this week's Cannon Fodder has his fiction breakdown of him in the Halo world.
Yes, indeed.
What's the story behind Olive the Pig? And Tom, you were mentioning earlier, there is a real-life Olive the Pig.
Yes, we actually got her Saturday. We have an Olive in our family. We have a little piglet, and we love her, and like, I don't know, she's just like the most beautiful thing.
And you have your pig cam.
At work, I actually set up a baby monitor in her pen so that we could sit and watch her, and like everybody will come by the desk and just kind of watch her move around. It's adorable, and like, so I was like, as Forge lead, I demand that we put a pig in the game. And then we wanted this idea of like pigs versus whales, and we were kind of mocking that stuff and having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, we'll have to maybe one day release that, the piggies versus whales.
Yeah.
Art was lots of sparks in the eyeballs.
The key art, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean,
It's
we
awesome.
kind of like Forge. We like to think of we're a bit of like the goofball team. We kind of want that mentality. Like, we're team fun in our own minds, maybe. Right. So we want to just keep kind of enhancing that, and like put fun stuff like that for people to find goof off with. So
Yeah, I think people are going to love it. I think even equally lovable is the fact that there's much more to come for Forge, right? Like, this isn't a single drop.
This is only the beginning. We have a lot of plans for what we want to do with Forge and where we want to take it, and that's even before the community gets their hands on it.
Yeah. I mean, once it gets released, we'll start watching to see what they want. And we know some of what they want from the people that we talk to, but we've already got plans like moving forward from new assets to new, just fixing features or enhancing features and cleaning things up, or like new things that we want to help again make people build faster, build better.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Hey, I mean, I speak on behalf of everyone here watching, Jay and myself included. You guys have spent years building this. We can't wait to get our hands on it.
Yep.
I know everyone watching can't wait to get our hands on it. So we can't thank you enough for the amazing feature set and also joining us today. It's
Anytime.
2 streams in a row.
Two streams.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
maybe
it.
hopefully we'll see you guys again.
We'll show off all the new stuff next time.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I
Awesome.
think we just had that last question.
We
from
did,
Twitter.
yep, we
Cool. So
did.
we're gonna go ahead and move into our next multiplayer map showcase. But I gotta say, Jay, I am so damn excited about Forge.
I don't even know what to
it's-
I just,
Hopefully,
I'm dumbfounded right
those
now.
of you joining us at home, hopefully your minds are blown just as much as ours. I think that was the first time that I saw a lot of things. The last time I really got a really good look at Forge was in development in the summer.
Same.
And there's tons of stuff that was on screen in terms of the UI, the controls, all the options that you have.
Yep.
So many more objects. I mean, if you look at that, we looked at maybe 100 or 300 objects just now. There's 1,700 plus in Forge. So, I mean,
How
when
is
I
that
say,
scratching the surface, what we just did?
yeah,
That is...
I mean, when I say
can't wait to see what you guys
I
do.
can't wait to get into Forge, but Jay and I both suck at Forge, so we can't really wait to see what you all do at home.
Yes.
It's going to be incredible. Mini games abound. It's going to be
I
fantastic.
can't wait for the mini games.
Yeah,
That's
It's going to be awesome. So we got to thank, once again, Mike and Tom and the entire Forge team here for putting that together. But let's go ahead and jump into some more multiplayer showcase. Jay, this
do it
one
again.
comes from Crafty Maedros. Might be how you say that. This is the Endless Splatter route. I believe this is the Oni Scout Hog. Now, most people don't know here. On the Spire, it is the perfect, apparently, it's the perfect
Just to
splatter
run laps,
assassination
yes.
route. You just continue to run laps. You hope that your opponents aren't wearing any headphones or have their TVs muted, because you just continue to run around. This is the overkill killing spree. Comes around again, and players just keep flying up these ramps, and he just keeps getting these kills. So this was an
This is
unprecedented,
more skills than the Scout Warthog will ever get ever
just
in
an
his life.
endless splatter spree there. So good stuff there from our friend Crafty Maedros. The next one is going to come from Borg.org. Now, believe it or not, this is another splatter here. We have
another Scout Warthog.
Yes, indeed. Now take a look at this. He has the absolute. Look at just some of these drivers just don't care. Look at this. His teammate starts the assassination here, right? He actually baits his teammate perfectly. Nope, gonna run you over there. Somehow his teammate stays alive as he backs out of that. So his
flaming Warthog.
Just incredible, ridiculous incredible, ridiculous Oni Scout Hog plays that are almost too risky to put on TV.
How do we have two? We have two plays with Scout Warthogs.
There's some type of odd behavior in the community right now.
There's a revolution happening.
Because whenever we see one clip, there are sister clips. It happens once per week.
Yes.
There's two splatters. There's two. Remember the Mantis? The Scorpion and Wraith boarding.
You're right.
These come in pairs. They are freak accidents, and we're not sure how. Last one comes from JMed1129. This is the Saw.
One of my
Massacre.
favorite variants of all time in Warzone. I love this gun.
And this is absurd, though.
And this is exactly
again,
why.
This is the keep in mind. This is the explosive rounds here on the weapon, so you could do some serious damage with this gun.
All day.
You see the just peppering across the map. He's got the extended mag plus the rounds, just destroying his opponents with this. Once again, another overkill there. So gotta give a shout out to JMed1129. He's not even done. He's just continuing, and finally he gets taken out. So another fantastic community clip there.
Such a satisfying gun to shoot.
Oh, it is.
So satisfying.
It is. If you get your hands on that in your recollection, you're going to want to unload on your opponent.
Use it.
That you don't get sniped in the face right before you use it.
Which he did.
Very.
That's usually what happens to me.
Very unfortunate. Yeah. I have to say right now it is my pleasure to welcome Joe Staten here to the stage. Joe,
yes,
it's fantastic to have you here.
I mean, sorry, Andy.
Andy,
and Jay. I'm old now. Yes. Names are hard for me.
It's good to see you again.
Joe,
good to see you too.
I have to say it's fantastic. When we found out we were going to have you on the show, I think the timing is awesome with Shadow of Intent just releasing.
Yep.
We're here in this building, this historic building, in the last month of its, I guess, as its use as the Halo epicenter.
I know. You guys kind of sad, or are you all right?
It's end of an era.
It is, man.
It really is.
It does have the same stink that I remember.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of like...
Victory.
Victory,
Right?
that's what I was going for. Yes, that's what I was going
The
to say.
Halo stink. Yes.
The clear
It
stench.
comes from only working on Halo.
Yeah, Jay and I mean, we've only been here. Jay, you maybe been here 5 years.
Almost four.
Almost four, and I've only been here 3. But Joe, you had a chance to build many experiences in this building. When does this building itself date to? Is it like beginning of Halo 3?
Oh my gosh, see, now you're going to tax my powers of memory. So basically, this was about the Halo 3 time frame, when we moved in here. And so we saw Halo 3 and ODST and Reach out the door from this building.
Yeah, and then I think then later on, of course, CEA, and then Halo 4, of course, built almost entirely here in this building. So I have to say, it came upon us quick, didn't it, Jay? I think, you know, we knew several months back, maybe even a year,
knew it was happening,
that we were going to be moving out of this studio and into a brand new studio, which was exciting, I think, because ideally with new studio comes new shiny things, right? So we were excited about that. But I think as the time ran down and we approached the holidays, we were kind of like, man, you know, there's only 3 months, there's only 2 months now, there's only less than
days.
Yeah,
we have
I mean,
days,
especially with the holiday break coming, there's less than a week here. So I mean, one thing.
And then it struck you that you were moving from a beautiful lakefront property with lots of restaurants out to the woods.
Yes, to Redmond.
Yes.
It's exactly where we're going.
Yep.
So hopefully there will be shiny new things inside that we can show all of you. But yeah, I think first of all, you know, before we dig more into the studio, Shadow of Intent just dropped.
Yes.
Everyone's super excited about it. I believe it's almost, maybe I guess it was earlier this year that we announced the full.
5
lineup.
novels coming out this year.
So we announced the full lineup, but everyone kind of saw your name, and everyone's really excited. So tell us, I mean, after having worked on Halo for so long, and then having worked on other projects, and now coming back to do Shadow of Intent, what was that like coming back to the series?
Well, it was actually pretty easy. It felt really comfortable. Having worked on Halo for a long time, it's easy to slip back into.
Right.
And Frank O'Connor.
I was going to ask, was there a convincing that had to happen there?
I could say there was a lot of arm twisting, but no, Frank and I are good friends, and he gave me the opportunity, and I just come back to Microsoft, and I thought it was great. I mean, there definitely is a stack of stories that I never got a chance to tell in Halo, and this was one of the ones near the top, and it was just a real pleasure to go in and write it.
Yeah,
in my new job at Microsoft, I don't spend too much time writing, so every time I actually get a chance to dive in, even after hours, and get something done, is a lot of fun.
And revisiting a classic character.
Oh yeah,
really too, from Halo 2, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, and it brought back a lot of fun memories from that time, and some not so fun memories, but a lot of fun ones. So it was great to dive back in.
Yeah, absolutely. Shadow of Intent, of course, available now at HaloWaypointStar.com. I believe it just came out Monday, right?
7th.
Yep, just on Monday. Yeah.
So that's available now, as you see on your screen.
Killer cover art.
You can grab the digital version of Shadow of Intent and dive right in. I know many fans excited to get their hands on this. So if you haven't yet, I believe it also makes a great holiday gift.
Absolutely.
I think it does.
That's what I hear.
That's what
I hear.
That's a rumor. Right?
I always love Kilo 5 Trilogy did this a bit. I really like digging into the Sangheili and sort of their culture and life, and the stakes seem really high on this one as well. It's a
Could you say
revenge story, which
Sangheili
is
just
great.
one more time? Maybe a little lower, maybe a little more.
Sanghelios.
Yeah, there we
like
go.
that, okay.
That's the word.
I was practicing just for the visit.
That's nice.
Let's talk a little bit about grunt voices.
Yeah.
Yes.
The history, I guess, of the grunt voice as it developed over the years.
Sure. Well, the first grunt voice was literally sort of a seat of the pants thing. We were getting close to the end of Halo 1, and Marty and I sat very close together, and he knew I did a little bit of voice work, and one day he pulled me in for what we thought was going to be just a placeholder session of grunt voice. And I laid it down and laughed half the way through it because Marty and I were kind of cracking each other up. And the grunt ended up being, going into the game for testing, is just kind of a funny, lighthearted little guy, which is kind of like me, hopefully. And it ended up sticking, and we ended up adding some dialogue to it, but largely it was that same grunt voice. And then for Halo 2, we went back and re-recorded the grunt voice, and on the microphone that day, I started to do the grunt, what I remembered was the grunt voice, and Marty reminded me, actually, the grunt voice is not up here, this little thing. That all gets added in post.
Right.
It's just basically my normal voice. So I guess I kind of sound like the grunt just when I'm walking around, but yeah, no, Marty would turn the knobs and make me sound a little high and squeaky, and I think he did it kind of vindictively to make me sound higher and squeakier than I really was. But yeah, and then he just kept on going from there.
Right. Cool. I think the one thing that I think we want to talk about now is, I guess, any specific memories in this building. I remember when we had you here to talk a little bit about ODST.
Yeah.
We got to hear a few of them, but I guess I think I'm so thankful that we have this live stream and also you joining us here, because I think to give this building a proper send-off, in writing the weekly updates, I was like, how can we give this historic building, which has created so many fantastic Halo experiences, a proper retrospective, I think. Are there any neat stories that you remember throughout any of those games that came out of here?
Well, there, you can see it on the monitor now. This fine building actually used to be a hardware store back in the day. Went through many manifestations. I think it was an Ace Hardware before we moved in. But before we laid anything down, put in the elevated floor, etc., we all came here to play a giant day-long game of paintball. So we just
in the building?
In the building, yeah.
Wow,
so we brought in, they had some old shipping crates here, and we put up some barricades, and we spent the whole day just lighting each other up. It was a lot of fun. So if you guys get a chance, I highly recommend. On the last day, you could go full circle, bring in some airsoft, bring in some paintball. I don't know.
Get some wooden cargo crates in here.
Yeah, and go for it. That was a lot of fun. So that was a great way to kick the building off. But mainly, I just remember a lot of long, hard, really fun days with good friends making cool things. Back in a time when I was a little bit younger, had a little more hair. Oh my God! But this building, I think, is filled with a lot of ghosts, but most of them are happy ones as I sort of look around and remember the good times.
Sure, yeah. Absolutely.
Of course, the most infamous story is the day that the SWAT team arrived. Did you guys hear about that one?
Yes.
I don't know if I know the story.
I've heard of the story.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Did you bring in a bunch of props back, right?
Well, we had all the Weta weapons, all the sniper rifles and brute shots and that sort of thing. And I think there might have been, I don't know exactly why this happened, but there's a building up the street, right? The 550 building. Yep. And all the weapons were up there. We had someone we asked them to bring the weapons down to show them to someone. Sure. But for some reason, they decided to run the weapons down the street with the sniper rifle.
Sure.
Yeah, so someone on the street
It's a bold strategy.
This, called the cops. They called the SWAT team. And I think we were working on ODST at the time. And I just remember Harold walking out front and dealing with the commotion that we didn't realize inside the building. But it turned out that, yeah, that could have been not so great.
It turns out running with very realistic, very
kids,
large weapons.
No running
down the main
realistic
street.
weapons.
Yes.
That's right.
Is generally frowned upon. Okay.
That was good. That was a good day. Wow, look at that. Where'd you? Oh my God.
Oh yeah, we have to say
who is that handsome?
We went
lad
into
with
the
hairy
archives.
legs?
We have some good stuff on here. You and Jamie.
Let me get more of that. Oh yeah, the glasses. That's such a good look. Oh, Jamie. So you guys pulled footage from the darkest days of Halo 2. That's great. Thank you.
We went.
Thank you for that.
Now, when I started working in this building, there was one reference I heard named a couple times, the Ivory Tower as a location. Where did that come from?
Well, it came from Marty, of course. Now the Ivory Tower is a special place. It's where great creativity happens. You don't want to just blow into the Ivory Tower. So Marty would, when he was really busy, he'd put a skull and crossbones up on his window. But it was I think at the time, he and Jay had the only offices What's the Ivory Tower now? It's still an audio suite, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
You
It's,
guys still have that one urinal for 1,000 guys? Is that still a thing?
No, the one
now?
upstairs. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you built one upstairs?
There's one upstairs.
Oh, so it's
and
like
there's one over
two for
here.
1,000.
Right, 2 for 1,000.
That's
much
way
It's only like a
better,
20-minute line now. It's great.
Yeah, we actually had the Ivory Tower as a meeting room for a very short time,
Yes.
filled with couches.
Yep.
It's soundproof. It's lovely, and then audio immediately stole it back.
Yes.
Which is,
They do that, man.
yeah, unsurprising. They have some.
Yeah, if that room's
good
already
setups.
built for it, they're like, you can't have that.
Yeah, I believe. And then Ivory Tower, of course. I think
right.
I remember not only the Halo 2 map, but specifically the description text. I think was built for socialite Lance O'Donnell. I believe was the text, of
That's
course.
right. Marty demands the best.
That's awesome.
For that map. But I think before we go, anyone? Oh wait, we have some Twitter questions.
We got some Twitter
Let's
questions.
go to the Twitter questions.
Our producer Chad has been sneaky and keeping us up to breast on those. So we're gonna go back to Shadow of Intent just a little bit. These guys have a few questions. This is off Twitter from Sticker Boy. Thank you for your question. Are there any specific parts of Halo? We'll do this one first. I'm sorry. That you are most proud of having worked on?
Well, man, wow, that's good. I think it's hard to find parts that I'm not proud of working on, but I think the time where I dug deepest and I think land the plane the best was Halo 2. That was a pretty rocky end there,
Sure.
getting that project out the door and
and then to become such a beloved game.
Yeah, and you know,
I think the legacy that
changed the
game-
landscape.
Yeah, that the
I
game
think it
really
was. You know, there were certain things that didn't go great, but I think as a studio and as a team, it was pretty miraculous that we pulled that off. So that was great. And ODST has always been a really special project for me. The guys and gals that worked on it, it was a really tight team, and I think we were able to make something pretty magical with not a lot of money, and it was a pretty special project.
It's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, really, Halo was a good time for almost 15 years. So
It's amazing. It's
good
amazing.
run.
And then yes, we got one more off Twitter as well from @CraftingGeek. So going back to Shadow of Intent, was there any particular reason you chose to write about the Sangheili? Was this your original idea that you wanted to do?
Actually, yeah, that's funny. I really wanted to write a Half-Jaw story, and I had an idea that he would be a little bit like the Odyssey, sort of Odysseus' long return home. And when I started writing, thinking about who his enemy would be, I didn't really have a strong idea in mind. And like you do a lot when you're writing, you sort of figure things out as you go. And as I was outlining it, I realized I needed a bad guy. And the prophets, I felt, were folks that had been kind of left alone for a little while. And I'd always had this idea in the back of my mind, wouldn't it be fun to fight a prophet who wasn't hanging out in like a wheelchair floating around talking to you, but someone who was actually very capable. And then I just began a process of asking, well, why would they make such a thing, and why would the prophets invest in this program? And a prophet that could stand, or a Sanshun that could stand toe-to-toe with not just Sangheili, but also a Spartan seemed like a pretty interesting character.
Definitely. So what would you say, like, at a high level, is just the overall story you're telling with Shadow of Intent?
Sure, so Shadow of Intent, without spoiling anything, is really the story of the Half-Jaw in between, or after Halo 3, basically.
Okay.
Where did he go? What adventures did he have? And it started off as a very short story, and it ballooned up to something that could have been a longer book, and then it sort of shrunk down to something that I could actually get out in a reasonable amount of time.
Sounds a little like game development.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really his story as well as the story of this other Sanshun character that I won't talk too much about. You'll have to read the book and find out about it. But how they come together and continue to fight this old war, but maybe even bury the hatchet a little bit and move forward. So it's really a story of an old warrior and how he puts the past behind him and keeps on going.
Nice, that's awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit like what we did with Buck's story, and I kind of like how with everything that's happening in the Halo universe, it's sort of like, where are they now? Kind of experience, which is really great. Awesome, awesome. I'm looking forward to reading it this weekend, actually.
What, you haven't read it yet?
I have to, yeah, it's a holiday read for me as well, and hopefully many of you who have joined us today. Joe, I mean, it's such a pleasure to have you here with us on the show.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, you bet.
So once again, Shadow of Intent is available now. Make sure you go grab it.
Do it!
Jay, I think next up, I got to give one more thanks to our second guest, Joe Staden.
Always
awesome
a
guy,
pleasure.
Legendary contributor to the franchise and all the experience that we've enjoyed over the years.
Yep.
I mean, it's so cool. I mean, so I grew up I grew up on Halo 2, right? I mean, we both did,
absolutely.
Well, excuse me, in the entire entire Halo series, but really following the development of the game, starting with Halo 2, because I think that's when Frank, Joe, Jason really.
I still remember the on-stage demo with Zanzibar, and just having my mind blown.
I mean, that's when, and then even I remember the studio tour that Frank did, right? I mean, with those guys, following them and starting to really follow game development at that point. Such a fanboy moment for me to be able to have Joe on the show, and that he's still contributing and writing.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
I mean, without being obnoxious about it, I mean, I absolutely have had dozens of moments walking around realizing the people that have been in this building and the work that's been in this building, and
especially
sort of what
when
that
we've
means.
had guests over the past, I mean, few months when we knew that this was our last time in this building. I think when you tell someone, hey, Halo 3, Halo ODST, Reach, CEA, when you tell people that all those were built right here, right? It's a very cool feeling. I think Joe described it well. There's a lot of very happy ghosts that exist in this building. So it's been a pleasure working here and kind of delivering Halo experiences to you from this building. Some more community clips?
Let's do it some more.
All right, so the first one going to come from Cloud Kills All. Let's see if that is the case here. As he's going to try to take out some opponents here on the Warzone
So points for
battlefield.
trying to take this guy on alone.
And look at this, the timing there. So this clip is called Just in Time. He has a teammate who actually flies in. I believe that's the Woodland Hog. If I'm not mistaken, could be Tundra. I might have
last second save there.
Amazing. So unfortunately, someone's going to have to slow this clip down. I don't think we have offhand the name of this faithful Warthog driver. But incredible clip there.
Regardless, he's a hero.
And it looks like wait,
there it is.
It looks like it's a short penguin. Thank you to the team in the back for giving us the freeze
Nico,
frame.
amazing.
That is
That's
a
some
short
quality switching
penguin
right there.
Who comes in? And look, he's get in, man.
Yeah,
you know what to do.
He's in charge.
Get in the hog. We are gonna roll right now. Perfectly timed splatter save there from a short penguin. Now this one comes from Mark Skateshoe, and it looks like what is going on here?
Just walking through.
Jeez.
That's a live stream for you.
Okay, so Mark Skateshoe, skate shoes and all, spells it early 90s Californian style SK8 with this ring around the rosy. Take a look at this clip. You gotta love this. He's downstairs on Truth. We saw this on Midship as well 10 years ago, but look at that. Then the juke back whack throws a few shots into the body.
I love it.
Right there, but you gotta love that ring around the rosy. That's
it's
a lot of
easy
patience.
to get overconfident when you got the sword.
And
it's
is,
easy.
and
That's what happens.
He's gonna frustrate his opponent. His opponent is like, screw this. I'm gonna go kill him, and he goes for the jump.
He's like, I got a sword. I can win
Take
this.
a look at this, back and forth play in that radar game, then jump and thrust and lands that as well.
That's
so
awesome.
Good stuff there. Next one comes from Noble786. Now this is the Magnum. I believe it's a Killtrocity.
Oh yeah, he's doing SWAT here on Coliseum, right?
Yes, indeed. So here's some sharp shooting on SWAT right there as he's putting in these shots, barely missing anything at all, gets the triple kill. He's gonna follow this up. Let's see, finds another opponent.
Yeah, he's on the hunt now.
I mean, especially when you know your sightlines on Coliseum, you know him well, gets right there. I believe that was the kill.
This one,
and I think,
this next one, right after this guy, this jump he does.
And look at this, the
Love
thrust as well. So just racking up kills. A Killtrocity followed up by a triple kill. So good shooting there.
Accuracy with the pistol is one of my favorite things to watch in Halo 5. It's amazing.
It's also essential. To
It
Halo 5,
really is.
right?
That's true.
So
That's
Noble786, that was a fantastic SWAT
well
clip.
played.
Once again,
yes.
Thank you for sending that into us. Once again, thank you so much for joining today's show. We're here live from the Halo HQ in the last live stream from this building. Bravo alongside Jay Frechette. We thank you for tuning in. If you missed any of the Forge stuff, don't worry, the VOD will be on YouTube. You can catch it. There's also a lot of Forge goodness on GameSpot today. So if you do want to see a little bit of Forge look, not quite as deep as we just did, but you can go to GameSpot.com, check out that video. It's also on Twitter.com/Halo if you want a fast link to it. But next up, we have more amazing stuff. We're going to talk about Warzone. We're going to talk about new REQs. We're going to jump into some Warzone gameplay right now. Joining me right now on the stage, I have Dan and Adrian. Dan, so good to have you. Adrian as well. Fantastic to have you guys on the show today. We're going to be talking about some things. We're going to be talking about Battle of Noctis. We're going to be talking about the Spanker. I think we're even going to play some games. So tell us, how are you guys doing? We're a little bit over a month into Halo 5, getting ready to ship, of course, the next update next week. And how is everything going with the teams?
It's very exciting to see our stuff out in the wild. I find all the weapons that are out, all the REQs, seeing how people actually use them, highlights like this, super fun to see.
Heck yeah, Adrian, what about you?
Good, man. Seeing all that Forge footage.
I was going to say,
I'm a little sweaty. I'm a little sweaty after that.
You have spent a lot of time working on Forge. Every time I come by your desk, I try to overstay my welcome. Somehow you always know that I'm there. You feel my presence somehow. But there's always some badass Forge stuff that's on your screen. True. But finally, we're going to get to unveil and kind of see what the community can do now we put the tool in their hands.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited for all the stuff that I know that they're going to come out with, and it's a great tool set. I love working with it. Yeah, just super excited to see all the cool stuff.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't think we fully wrapped our head around. Jay and I haven't wrapped our head around the whole feature set, and no one has wrapped their head around what the community is going to create.
I still haven't done it.
Yeah,
it's going to take a minute.
It's going to be fantastic. So I think we're actually ready pretty soon to jump into some Battle of Noctis multiplayer. If you
Yeah, I'm
wanna get that
excited
match.
to like really get in this match because this is a very interesting Warzone map in that the layout is a bit different than what I feel like we've traditionally done with the other maps.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a bit different. It's a little simpler, but also there's some kind of craziness thrown in, a lot of verticality. The 2 garages is something new that we haven't tried before.
Very vehicle focused in this.
Very,
Warzone.
very vehicle focused. I consider it our kind of vehicle showcase, vehicle playground.
While still being infantry friendly, which is not easy to do.
Not
We're
easy
gonna
to
see
do.
some of that today.
But yeah, a lot of that in the central monument is going to be a big focus of the map if you're an infantry player, which I love.
Right.
So yeah, watch that monument.
Cool. I think we're ready to get into this match in just a second. We'll get a nod from our guys in the back to find out if we are good to start this match just yet. Not sure if that's the case. I think we'll go ahead and get these
Yeah, we're gonna get our controllers. So we will need that
as
at least to be able to
as
play.
we bend down. But Dan, as a system designer, tell us about some of the stuff that you've been working on. Some of the stuff that's included in this update. I know we've got a lot of new weapons on the way that people are pretty excited about.
I mean, I think the thing that everyone has been requesting the most is probably the spanker, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we have the spanker. It's coming out. It's actually kind of funny because one of our producers, he thought it was pronounced spunker. I don't know which one is correct or not, but you know. Anyway, we have the spanker, obviously, as you can see here. We also have a few variants, a bit more high-powered versions of the spanker that are pretty awesome.
I was running around with that extended mag yesterday, and that is fun.
Yeah. So we have 4 versions. I mean, do you have time for me to go through them all?
Yeah, I think we do.
I'd love to.
Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have basically the difference between the regular spanker and the regular Halo 5 rocket launcher is that the spanker fires faster between the rockets, so you can get 2 rockets out in quick succession.
Nice.
The reload is a bit longer though because you have to push the big magazine off and stuff like that. So. That's your main difference. And then we have the first extended mag that was mentioned by Jay. That one has 4 rockets in the barrel. So you can shoot 4 rockets in rapid succession, which is pretty awesome in Warzone, obviously, because there's tons of targets to shoot at.
Right, and yeah, when you have, oftentimes there's too many vehicles to shoot on your screen as well as oncoming opponents, so
And
that'll be useful there.
one thing that you may not notice first time you pick up the extended mag, though, is that it will actually lock onto ground vehicles as well.
Yes. And also, of course, with the Smart Link scope as well, it's going to be brand new on the spanker as well.
Yes,
So
yes,
that'll be
yes.
sweet. Which I think people will like a lot.
Has that traditional
Halo
look
Yeah,
that you
exactly.
remember. Yeah, it's awesome.
And then we have the second one is basically a foreigner technology-influenced warhead. That kind of, if you think of one of the cluster grenades, basically.
Right.
That is just super big and super awesome. And that one can really very easily clear out a base and kill tons of guys.
Oh yeah, especially when you're watching, like when enemies are coming out of doorways and stuff like that. When you have them grouped into those fine little tunnels,
thank you.
It can be dangerous. I think we're going to be ready to start in just a minute.
Matchmaking has begun.
So we're going to be searching here.
It looks like Dan need to, and Adrian, both of you guys need to hit the
joining.
Yeah,
to join
in.
Start to search.
So we're going to be searching here on a build of let's see, Battle of Noctis. Right?
I'm so excited to play this.
It's going to be sweet. So I think Adrian also. So the art team did such a fantastic job with this map. I think one of the reasons that people are excited to play this map finally is, one, we teased it at Gamescom without really saying it. Right?
Yeah.
We showed it off for.
We showed it a little bit.
We showed off
Showed
an
a little
early
tease.
look, a split second. You're kind of seeing streets, highway dividers, bridges, lots of concrete, right? Of that minimalist design.
Yeah. Big shout out to Wade and Tim for all the awesome work they did on the map. We were super inspired by like that brutalist architecture.
Right.
And yeah, I think. I love this map, and I'm excited to be playing with this.
So we got a few Spartan Claws emblems here in the lobby, which makes me happy here, and we also have one cone emblem, so we'll be able to see that.
A little bit of
in the action. But I think if you look at Raid on Apex 7, right, and then you look at this, like the map, the art styles, the map, the layout, everything is completely different. So I think something I'm so excited about is having that great variety in the Warzone battlefield. I have to tell you, I think we might be showing my point of view. We might be showing Adrian's. Let's see.
It's a surprise.
Let's see. It looks like no. It says Adrian and Jay. Are you playing?
I'm sorry.
How many DR shots can I miss?
I'm just gonna apologize.
We'll have to see. I tell you, I haven't played it. I played months ago a few matches on this map, but I haven't gotten to play a lot. So excited to get into this as the game is loading up. But I mean, guys, throughout the match, let us know different parts. I think Adrian, as we walk around, you'll be able to tell us about a lot of different segments and parts of this map that kind of separate it. One of the things I'm looking forward to seeing is, I think, the way that the man cannons are strategically placed, right? Like, how do you make a map, as I alluded to earlier, how do you make a map so vehicle-friendly in a vehicle playground while also letting infantry run around it, but not too easily able to board it?
Right.
Right, which is certainly a difficult balance. But here's you're seeing for the first time the fly-through.
I love this
on
vignette,
Battle
man.
of
Yeah, it's
Noctis,
gorgeous.
You guys ready to jump in?
I'm ready.
I think we'll have to see what the teams are, right? Because we may not all be on the same team. It looks like
I'm
we
on
got
board.
3 blues. Looks like Daniel,
by my lonesome.
Daniel,
You're
Jay,
on
and
here.
myself are going up against Adrian. But keep in mind, we have a lot of players in the playtest lab right behind us, many of which are on pro teams. So we'll have to see what goes on here. But let's take a look at whose POV we're actually. Jay, we're on your point of view.
Oh my
right
goodness.
Now. So
it's intimidating.
We're kicking things off with Jay Fresh. You have to put on quite a show here, Jay.
I will do my best, everybody.
Yeah. All right, let's see how many.
Everyone's already seen my Spartan ranking, knows how low I am.
All right, we're about to push out of this piece. So yeah, I guess, Adrian, when we look at like kind of the first steps of this map gameplay-wise, what are some of the first things that players are going to encounter when they fly out of their base?
So the first thing they're going to encounter are these awesome man cannons that take you almost
These
directly
man cannons
to
are amazing.
to the monument.
Right.
And what we were wanting to achieve with kind of like that setup was very quickly kind of you can avoid being out in the streets because we wanted to keep the streets mainly very vehicle focused.
Right.
So we wanted players to be empowered to move quickly out of those spaces if they were not in a vehicle.
So Jay, how did your first respawn go?
That wasn't great. I made it into the monument, put in some shots, but
That was about it?
Yeah.
That was
I was on the wrong side of that flank against red team. They were ready for me.
All right, let's see now. Let's see which AR are you rocking right now, Dan?
The long shot AR with the hard light, which is always good when vehicles are coming at you.
Right.
Especially the early ones, like ghosts and stuff like that.
So we have a wild hog trying to fly at our base. Right here, if we could turn around and get this guy. He's trying to put on the same play.
Yeah, he just saw. Yeah, he just saw.
He saw the clips from the community, and he thinks he can put on a show with the scout hog. Right,
There's going to be opportunities for
it was too many
some
guys.
awesome ground pounds on this map.
Me versus 4 red
yeah,
guys. I feel like we need to not go for monument
So
right
yeah,
now.
I guess tell us.
We should get one of the garages. That's what we need right now.
You're talking strategy here. I'm trying to learn more about this map, man.
Well, there's 2 garages, which is not typical of the
I guess, Bedoy, tell us about the design of the monument. It's a brand new piece, right?
Yeah.
In the Warzone playground, the players are going to be able to control. One of the things I love is kind of how you can kind of jump up and down those angled walls, and it just creates an entirely new play space that people can kind of run around. So when we look at like the first actually, one thing we should talk about that we haven't talked about yet on today's show is that original design that you thought about for Noctis, right? That was ultimately scrapped.
It was kind of scrapped. It was just a quick kind of Photoshop rough out of a top-down layout that I thought I wanted kind of like a more linear layout that we had in some of our other maps. But after thinking about it and going through it, it's too close to those other maps, and I wanted to really try to do some different things with this map, and kind of where we are now is kind of how it ended up, and I'm super happy with the overall layout.
I gotta say, pressure's on, huh? I'm like asking you like very detailed questions, and we're showing your point of view.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you to perform and show us cool things while also telling us about new things, which is slightly difficult. But I mean, tell us from I think one thing I'd love to learn about, and anyone who wants to work in game design, how often does that happen, and at what point in the design cycle do you need to make calls like that when you're trying to find out, for example, is this the direction we go? Do I change this? Do I modify? Do we cut? I think what leads to ultimately those decisions when you're looking at those first top downs, when you're looking at kind of those first sketches?
A lot of that is kind of experience and just knowing what you already have in the game, kind of what you want to try to achieve for like the next map sort of thing. So I knew we already had Arc and March on Stormbreak, so a lot of that was driven as like, okay, we need to do something different. We need to really push what we can do with Warzone.
Right.
So a lot of times, stuff, I'll make tons of designs in 3D or just on paper or on a whiteboard, and I can kind of pick and choose from there. And then a lot of times we'll play a bunch of different blockouts in in playtest, and we'll decide
nice ground
if we like them or not there.
Sure. But while I ask you all these detailed questions, we should probably go to Jay's POV. So we're not asking you to play and
talk.
Yeah, tell us about all the work you do each and every day. Let's see, Jay. I do want to point out that Daniel and Jay, the blue team, is losing 76 to 247.
We are getting smacked.
It's not pretty at all. I'm not feeling good about the end result.
Well, I was able to at least do a classic BR. Are
you using it right now? Okay, there we go. So now you're actually seeing. So of course, Daniel, tell us about the classic BR. I mean, it comes in, of course, the form of that classic scope.
Yes, yeah, and that's an important thing to point out, that this is actually not a different tuning on the actual rifle.
Right.
It's a different scope, and it's purely visual, and it does support all the other attachments as well. So you'll get cards for, the classic BR, meaning classic scope, Halo 5 BR, and all the attachments that goes with the Halo 5 BR, basically.
Right. I just spawned with my first ever classic BR and died immediately. I don't feel too good about that, but Jay, how's it feel? I mean, that classic, of course, like Dan said, the shot will shoot just like the Halo 5 BR, but of course, that classic zoom, it brings in a certain level of nostalgia.
It really does.
It does also give you a different kind of awareness, since you are not looking at, someone's shooting me.
That classic
VR. Because you are not seeing the weapon model, you get a little bit more of view in the center.
Right.
But obviously that, the darkness on the corners of your screen reduces some of your peripheral a bit. So it's kind of depending on what you want.
Yeah, right. I think that when players have, say, both options, it's kind of just a preference of do they want to shoot through that classic scope.
Yeah, and we've noticed also, like every time we do stuff that is retro, people instantly gravitate to it because it has such,
There we go, blue. Hold it.
Every time I start talking, I get shot at.
Yeah, it kind of happens. I think the reason that the blue team is losing so bad, you see, is
there
that
were three of us here.
We're all trying to explain these new weapons and these new maps, and I'm just making up excuses. We're actually just getting destroyed right now. I don't actually know.
You know what I think it is? I think red team's doing a better job getting the bosses too.
Yeah, I think they're doing a better job at just about everything right now. We're not
sure.
Man,
we're losing South Garage even right now.
Who they have in that room.
I think there's some pro team on red. I have a feeling. I know Dursky and Mason were pretty excited to play in this.
But I have to say, some of the some of the experiences remind me a little bit about is I think some people in the studio mentioned it, is a little bit of Boardwalk from Halo Reach, right?
That is a good comparison.
You kind of had these little grass patches and kind of higher half cover type. But what I'm getting at though is there's a little bit of kind of that outdoor city, a futuristic city feel to this map, which is.
It really feels like I'm in, like it could almost be like a campaign mission. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it certainly does have that feel. Yeah.
There are some vehicles all over the place over here.
Luckily, it's quick work here. We'll have to see if we can mount a comeback. Last time we had a decent comeback, if you recall, Jay.
We did, that's true.
But I'm not sure.
I just dropped the Wraith.
I can't, man. I'm just getting destroyed.
Dude, this black and gold BR looks
By the way, how's that ghost going for you?
Oh, good. I just splattered someone.
I was going to say, I saw a pretty nice splatter over there.
Oh, I see producer Damon Kahn. I'm following him right now.
And we got some hunters.
The masterminds
at the monument.
Yeah,
I have to say, one thing that's really cool is I mean, this is truly only my maybe third or fourth time playing this map recently, and I think being able to jump in and find those man cannons that kind of get you out of that Warthog turret fire.
Nice work, guys.
Is pretty refreshing, and it makes you feel like you can really fight from different parts of the map or just get destroyed like we are.
Yes. Right. Got 2 more hunters over on Fortress.
I don't know if this is gonna happen, Jay. I will spawn
Lone
over
Wolf,
there.
Lone Wolf. Get me out of there. Get me out of
Not
there.
a good idea. Bail out.
Rocking the ghost.
Going on
Yeah,
the base.
I have to say the score is not in our favor, but hopefully everyone who's joining us here
you're getting a good look at the map.
Is enjoying what they're seeing on the map. Once again, you're checking out the December update here, live from the 343 HQ. Thank you for tuning in on Twitch and the Halo channel and joining us. We're hanging out here all afternoon, bringing you the community update live. Earlier today, we looked at Forge. We did a deep dive, which I'm so glad Tom and Mike came on the show. I hadn't seen any of that stuff.
No, that was
they had planned for us. So it was
we were
awesome.
enjoying that as fans, just like you guys.
Yeah, Tom kind of set up that custom. We're going to show you Forge map, and I didn't know he had that, which was fantastic. So if you do want to catch all of the Forge goodness, that's going to be available on the Halo YouTube, youtube.com/Halo Waypoint. later today. As soon as this VOD is uploaded, you're going to want to make sure to grab that. And we also talked a little bit about all the community updates and news that's coming, especially different features that are coming in Cartographer's gift that are really a direct result of community feedback we've gotten, things like UI as well as controls, which we're going to still hear about later on today's show. But thank you for spending your afternoon with us, or perhaps evening or even morning, depending on where you're joining us from in the world. You're checking out right now a brand new map that's coming to Halo 5, and it is called Battle of Noctis. It's a Warzone map that looks, I think I'm going to use Hydra from now on and see if I can do anything, because I feel like, Bedoy, I think Hydra on this map is a good choice. I think we've got enough open
Hydra's
sightlines.
always a good choice. Yeah,
I think there's
a lot of cover for you to use as well, which is good.
I think that could be.
I know the help I can get.
As I'm also getting achievements, which helps me make me feel better about myself. But brand new Warzone map is coming to Halo 5. Also, still to come on today's show is going to be another arena map, a brand new arena map called Overgrowth. So make sure you stick around for that. We're also still to come on today's show. We're talking about new Halo 5 control settings that are going to be coming to the game. Also really excited about those. So that's going to be coming, and I think we even have more, if I had to guess. We have quite a long show today that's jam-packed. So
marathon
definitely
live stream.
Thank you for tuning in with us here as we check out some brand new maps. We're bringing it back, though, a little bit, huh? I'm not going to lie. With all the talking I've been doing and
we've
blabbing.
closed the gap here a little bit, for sure.
Not
No
too
thanks
bad.
to me, but
what do you think about this? What do you think about this Night Noble? I think we can take it out. Are you over here
Nice,
with me?
hijack. Oh.
You still using that classic VR?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too. All right, I think we're going to take out this Night Noble. Are you anywhere?
Oh, I did not. Oh.
Hopefully someone gets to call in a spanker. Before the round ends.
I need so much more.
I got a Night Noble takedown.
Oh,
it was solid. He actually flew at me and then flew off the map.
You're like
killing Marines.
I felt better about that.
So boss.
Get that goat.
But one thing I have to say that I'm excited to talk about later is definitely going to be the controls update.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool. Sandbox team did some awesome stuff there as well.
Oh my.
Let's see.
Oh, get over there! Oh, he ran away. Dude, red team is not lacking for wraiths in this match.
No, but I feel good about this slight.
Went for it.
I feel good about this slight comeback, and it actually makes me feel a lot better about the match because it was not looking pretty when we were.
Yeah, we didn't want to go down that bad.
No,
like I can lose. It's
I still
okay.
wonder
I'm
if
used
they.
to it,
I still wonder if they rig it in the other room. We're not.
Chad's back there being like, guys, go easy.
Yeah, I don't, which I don't like. I'm not really a fan of that.
Definitely not.
That is
don't
not
patronize
cool.
us, Chad.
But Adrian and Dan, while we have you guys, tell us what are your go-to playlists in Halo 5 right now? What are you kind of sticking to?
I'm a big fan of SWAT.
Back.
Love me some aim for the head. Can't go wrong. And been on that Warzone Assault.
Well, also tell me about. I mean, as a designer in some of the maps that you worked on, what are your favorite SWAT maps? And also, which of those did you contribute to?
So I'm a fan of.
Almost.
Just got annihilated by the Warden. Dude's a beast.
Almost got him.
For SWAT,
yeah.
I really like Eden. I think there's a lot of good space on there. The rig was a.
Oh yeah, I think the rig before launch, our pro team kind of stated that was their kind of go-to map, and I love that map. I mean, time and time again, whether it's free for all or Slayer or whatever it might be. Yeah, I love the rig. Dan, what about you? Favorite playlist?
Well, I mean, since I'm working on all the weapon variants a lot, I do enjoy me some Warzone because it has all that crazy weapon action going, which I enjoy. And I'm trying to grind on my rec collection as well.
Sure. Oh yeah, I have to say, what are any favorite recs that you've got? Either ones that you've worked on, or ones that you've got so far?
Well, I mean, I know it's a community favorite, but Whiplash is so fun.
Yes.
It is a fun thing to use.
I don't have it yet. Don't have my cert.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. I normally actually use a lot of the random weapon cards just because it gives me a chance to just see all the weapons, because I need to stay on top of how they actually play out in the wild as well. So, yeah, and then actually I agree. When I don't play Warzone, I play SWAT.
Sure.
Mostly.
You get some vehicles in here.
I'm trying to go for the perfect timing on the thrust and then the board on the Wraith.
I
don't pull it off like the
I was
community.
inches from doing a man cannon onto a Banshee.
The community clips that we have for boarding, I can't seem.
They
to
make
pull
it look
off.
so easy. It's really not.
got some sweet, sweet legendary weapons that I'm going to call in here. Remember a little while ago we were only down by like 180 points?
Yep.
It's not really like that anymore.
You guys are bringing it back a little bit.
Where Bedoya and crew are crushing a bit more with that classic BR.
Dude,
yeah, I think one of the... Go ahead, Jay.
There are heavy like I see a Wraith, 2 Wraiths, and a Scorpion from Red Team right now.
It's not good. I tried to kill all of those and I failed miserably. Especially the moments when you're chasing the Scorpion and thrusting and then trying to get, and it just slowly turns around, and then all of his teammates.
See if I can get to him.
Kill
Right
you.
now. See if I can get to him. I got it.
Yeah, we need anti-vehicle weapons.
And then
the Wraith ran me over right as I boarded him. Are you kidding me?
And you had a Banshee flying at
Who
you
did
too.
that? Who did that back there?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, absolutely absurd.
Oh, wow.
But I think one of the coolest things, I'm sure we can't talk about too many of them just yet, but Dan, I'm sure you and team are already hard at work on future weapons that we're
we have some very, very, very cool stuff coming, which I can't talk too much about, but yeah, we have some really, really cool stuff. I wish I could talk and show it.
Right, well, we'll have to have you on for future streams so you
Yeah.
can show off some of that stuff. I think between, we've got weapons, we've got armor, I think every single drop each month is going to be fantastic, and people are going to be
we got a Mantis
excited about the new stuff.
Yeah, I've seen you guys in the chat stream. I see what you guys are asking for. We have some cool stuff. I'm not going to comment on what, but
yeah, I have to say, believe it or not, we do read, and we do actually have an idea of exactly what you at home are looking for.
I think they do know that you're like everywhere.
I try to be everywhere. Oftentimes I fall asleep with my phone in hand and immediately check what people are asking for. I think it's all really thanks though to, Adrian, Dan, the teams that you guys are on, and the entire Halo 5 team. I think I've never had the privilege of being on a team that's so eager to make awesome stuff for the community, right? I think each and every feature in this game is constantly built with feedback in mind, which is really cool to see, especially when bringing back legendary weapons. Some of the other stuff that I wish I could talk about right now, but I'm not able to.
Way, yeah.
Sketches of things that I've seen and mock-ups and specs. I think everyone at home watching is going to like what they see as long as they stay tuned. And unlike the result of this match for the blue team, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we are just about done.
But hopefully I haven't been actually watching your points of view. Hopefully you guys have been staying alive for reasonable times so that people can get
couldn't get the spanker though.
A look at exactly what's going on in this map.
Yeah,
but
it's over now.
it is over.
I was blown away.
But Adrian, I have to say, you guys did an awesome job on this map.
Yep.
I love how it looks. I love how it plays. I think people are going to be excited to play it. Like I said, it's a totally different space, especially, I think, not only compared to what's available in Warzone, but what's available in multiplayer right now, right? It's a kind of a brand new environment to run around.
Yeah, I'm excited for the strategies that are going to come out of this map.
Especially when that opening, when you it's completely different when you think of like Stormbreak, when you think of Raid on Apex 7, like sprinting out and going straight into a man cannon, right? And then jumping into the battlefield is really, really cool. So the time is now ticking down as Raid Team is about to win that. It was pretty easy defeat.
Red team best team?
Good game, sir. Red team best team defeat, I think,
Not my best
was the result there, as we'll watch this outro vignette as our brief
victorious Red Team.
As Red Team covers the screen.
Good job, guys. Bunch of folks here, 343, are joining us back in our play lab right now. They were playing with us there.
Yes, indeed. But
I was not good in that one.
I guess, Adrian, before we say goodbye to.
Oh, is this mine? We're gonna look at the. Oh, really? We're gonna do that? We're gonna look at my PGCR,
I think we're looking
right?
at PGCR, yeah.
This is gonna be great. Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look. Any notable statistics here? Let's see. Looks like lots of boss takedowns across the board. Not too many legendary takedowns. We don't want to see your stats.
No, we
Jake.
don't,
Flick
dude.
it over. Come on.
We do not.
Let's see here as we go ahead, and we'll go this way over to. Let's see that kills category.
I don't think you want to see mine.
37 kills there. Someone on our team who did very, very well.
What?
So thank you, but it was not strong enough. Guys, any last words on either the Battle of Noctis or some of these new weapons that are coming into the game?
I mean, we also didn't mention there is a mythic Spanker rocket launcher.
Yes, indeed. Was that Spanker Prime?
Spanker Prime, yes, exactly.
It has a really fast shot, right?
Yeah, so the rocket is super fast. You don't have to worry about travel time very much.
Right.
You also have a shield buff, which means that you can survive a point-blank shot to the feet, which also means you can rocket jump.
Oh, sweet.
Oh yeah, how about that?
Very cool.
Yeah, and it also it also allows you to jump higher, but just your base height, base jump. So that's really cool. Like I've seen some pretty crazy action going on in Warzone maps where you actually can make the regular jumps and get to a good vantage point and just rain down fast rockets. It's pretty awesome.
We'll have to look for some Spanker Prime footage, hopefully starting next week. We'll see
montages for that are going to be
see
great.
some people using that. And then Adrian, I guess, Battle of Noctis looks awesome. I can't wait to play on it. I hope everyone at home feels the same way. And let's see, anything else we might have missed when talking about Battle of Noctis? Or did we cover everything?
I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think
just super excited to have that map come out. And
me too. I'm looking forward to just watching streams and watching people play the map and then letting them figure it out, and I can just watch rather than having the stress of dying all the time.
Yeah, I like that method.
Guys, thank you so much, not only for joining us today, but also the awesome work.
Thank you,
we got new weapons, we got new maps coming to the game, and I think everyone's really excited. So thank you once again.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, guys.
thank you.
Man, we have had awesome stuff on the show today.
Hit after hit after hit.
Sandbox team not only building new, and now everyone on the red team celebrating.
Look at them, they're all like, we're so good at the game.
Gosh,
Pro team was on
everyone's
red, dude.
super
Look
friendly,
at
but
Mason, Dursky, I know it.
yeah, we lost to very, very good Halo players. We
Troublemakers.
swear. But oh my gosh, we're getting some goodies over here that
next
we're going
part-
to show you in just a
Yeah,
bit.
we're
But
getting there.
all that goodness is coming in the Cartographers gift update, which is jam-packed. We thank you once again for joining us for today's show. We've got a lot to talk about, and there's even more. Jay, I think we have the holiday gift guide coming up right now. The holiday wish list is going to be fantastic. Should we just start talking about
Oh, we're getting really festive here.
What is yours
Oh,
saying?
mine says naughty. Perfect.
That's weird,
That's
man.
perfect.
Can you please wear that forward-facing thing?
Oh, yeah, dude, look,
Jay
like-
has his naughty hat on. No, this way.
This way? What are we doing?
Go this way with the hat. Naughty.
Naughty.
Okay.
All right. I
I'm
like
just
this.
really thankful that I don't have the naughty hat right now. It is really,
I
let me
love
get this
it.
thing on properly.
I love it. This is good. This totally fits me. We look good. We look good.
I was interested in what your hat said, and then I was slightly concerned, and I gotta get my the kind of the
Someone's been reading my diary.
Okay, Jay's got his naughty hat.
I'm ready.
It is December. We are ready to rock with the Halo holiday wish list.
Yes.
Now, welcome, Jay. Should we just?
I know my family's watching, so this would be a good time to start taking notes.
Should we just start talking about some of this?
Let's do it. So
I love your hat, by the way.
dude.
Oh,
I love your hat.
That's
looks
too
really-
good. Alrighty, so the first thing that we should talk about, I believe, let's talk about the Halo 5 vinyl.
Yes.
Let's show it off.
Let's do it.
This thing looks great. This is, of course, the original soundtrack by Kazuma.
Halo 5
many of
Guardians.
you have
Amazing soundtrack.
praised his music. It is fantastic stuff. So here you go. Take a look at the inside. We also got inside concept art for this sucker as well. We've also got some original art on the back, which of course shows you all four sides of the vinyl as well. So this is our first pick, of course, the Halo 5 vinyl.
There's actually something else that comes with the vinyls. Now, if you buy it, you're going to get a little card in here, which you can redeem, I believe, for a rec pack? What do you think?
Let's see. I'm not sure what you're redeeming.
You know what? You're going to find out because we're going to give it to you right now. So with this one, get on your browser, get ready.
Wait,
Everybody
this is a
ready?
code?
We're going to do it right now.
Is-
You got to
is
go
the code
to
drop?
www.dropcards.com/Halo 5 Guardians. Give you just a second. And then, first person to enter this code, you're going to get it. So you ready?
What are they getting?
J9GV9XDNXQ.
You heard it here first.
What are you going to get? I don't know.
Wait, is it the soundtrack?
Tell us what you got.
We think you're getting a digital copy of the soundtrack. That makes so much
Congratulations.
sense. That's probably what it is.
That probably works. That's
Okay,
what you
next
should
up,
do.
Jay, let's talk about this backpack. I believe this is.
It's a
It's
cool
safe
back-
to say this is a Locke-inspired backpack.
I
Right?
would agree
believe
with
there's
that.
two. I believe there's a Chief backpack, and of course you have the Locke highlight here. So this is going to be your Locke Oni backpack, which looks pretty darn sweet
Thick's
as
got some
well.
leather material to it.
It
Some
does.
nice I like the pockets on the side. That's crucial
right.
to
Halo
it. yeah.
branded as well. So our second pick there. If you need to grab yourself a new bag, why not grab a Locke or a Chief bag? Now,
I wanna
you got
talk
more
about-
stuff. Sweet.
One of my favorite pieces of art that we've done over the entire development history of Halo 5, the Star Wars poster, I call this one.
Yes.
It's amazing. This art book is available right now. It is Gorgeous. I'm definitely a nerd for all the. One of the things I always do when I come into the studio.
You can talk
You
about
highlight
it.
and I'll talk. You be my
man.
Vanna.
This thing looks beautiful.
One of the things I do when I always come into the studio is I love just going in and looking at all the new concept art and pieces that the team is always building when they're working on the game. So for me, I get a kick out of just over the course of years. We have an amazing art team here at 343 Industries. They do incredible work, and so this art book is
this
just
is like I'm reading like a
jam-packed.
I'm reading like perhaps a first grade teacher, right?
Yes,
You're showing it kind of like this style. This is
Yes.
actually how you show books like this.
Yes.
This is the first time in my life I've needed to
That's
read
one of the.
show a
This is
book
one
like
of
this.
the OG pieces we ever did for Halo 5 for Chief.
yep.
You recognize him with the cloak there.
That's right.
That's an OG piece of concept art.
That is sweet indeed. Yeah, a lot of these bring back memories, right? Because I think when we think of Halo 5 development, there's those iconic images that maybe the very similar arena concept art, right, with the crazy shark helmet, right?
Yep.
There's these images that for a while they spoke to like the idea of Halo 5,
Right.
And the early days of development, and then as the game went on, you know, certain things were kept, certain things were dropped. But this book, of course, will give you an idea into really the full development timeline of Halo 5.
Seeing the iteration that goes into it.
It's pretty darn sweet.
I think we might. Do we have anything in there too? Any goodies inside this thing?
Oh yes,
oh
we
there
do.
it is.
I believe we have a rec pack. Jay, do you want to give away this rec pack right now?
You're gonna drop the code, man.
All right, ready? This is a long code, as you know. This is
Get
a
ready.
5
This
by
is your
5
25 digit
Xbox
for-
Live code. Here we go.
for rec packs.
Here's a rec pack coming. This is going to be a promotional rec pack. So one of the rec packs you can only get through buying something like the Art of Halo 5 Guardians. I'm just going to drop the entire code. The best way to do this, of course, is to go to xbox.com and be signed in.
That's true.
However, if you're not already, it's already too late. Here comes the code. I wish we could put this on the screen for you, but instead you're going to have to use your ears. It's a challenge indeed.
Yes.
WVPVF XQMJH Niner F6WHMFJ2M KDF Niner Z is that rec pack code. So one of you have probably already redeemed that and are in the process of perhaps already opening it.
You've probably already opened the pack. You've equipped the customization. You're already in a Warzone.
You're already ahead of us. So that is the rec pack for today. We still have some great stuff, though.
Do you want to do your turn? Your side first?
I almost got hit in the eye with, what do you call this thing?
I don't know.
I don't even
A
know.
little snowball?
All right, let's. I want to pick this up properly. If I could get some assistance here, I don't want to drop anything. Let's take a look at this.
That's
sucker,
crazy,
Jay.
dude. Wow.
This thing is sweet.
Wow.
All right, let's see.
It is awesome. Let's get this.
Good work, good work, good work. So let's talk about where this is coming from. Of course, this is the 31-inch Master Chief from Jack Pacific. We'll get a little bit of a spin here so you can see the detail on the armor. It's pretty incredible, all the way down to, I mean, every single piece is detailed, looking at really every single area.
It's got a little articulation to him too, so you can change the pose just a little bit if you want to.
So this guy, of course, looks fantastic.
Amazing.
31-inch figure.
Amazing.
Comes with that assault rifle. And he looks great. So if you have someone who doesn't yet have a 31-inch Master Chief, now there's probably a very slim chance of that, but if you have someone who doesn't yet have a Master Chief this size, you can grab it this holiday.
That's the thing I've said about every Master Chief set I have. It's too
Right.
small.
That's exactly it. Now we
Small
have Jack Pacific. Our friends have made a 31-inch. This guy looks great.
That guy's awesome.
Thank
Yeah, it
you
looks
very
great.
much, Chad. What else you got, Jay?
I got one more. All right, I'm gonna give a piece of this to you because this is a two-parter. I'm gonna need your help here.
Okay, sweet.
From our friends, our longtime partners at Mega Brands, we've got a Scorpion.
This thing looks sweet. So keep in mind, now this guy also has the front gunner. Now,
awesome box
he's
for it.
even more useful in this Mega Bloks version than he is in game, we hear.
Yes.
But this Scorpion looks great. What's cool is all the tracks move, so we'll show you that. It kind of can go over terrain. So if you were to take it out in the snow
Tracks like
on
rubbery.
Christmas Day in your backyard, you could make some really cool stop motion videos.
I recently just put together the Halo 5 Banshee and the Ghost. You know what? It's just fun. You put on some holiday music. You sit down, throw on your favorite television
how you
show,
do it?
and yeah, man, you just start building away, and then you just have a lovely evening. Maybe a camp, maybe a fire in the fireplace.
Well, this thing looks
If
great.
the mood hits you the right way.
Fireplace too, huh?
Dude, I go. It's
Jay
the
is-
holidays, man.
It is.
You should come over and build some Mega Bloks
Apparently
with
you've
me,
been
dude.
naughty. That's kind of weird.
I'm always
Here you
naughty.
go. I
I'm
believe that
always
covers
naughty.
the entire holiday.
I'm holding on to this right
Wait,
now.
no.
I got one more.
Yeah.
I got one more. Where is it though? Our friends at Mustard Brand. You guys may have saw this on the bulletin. I promoted this. They make just awesome, really like high-end clothing.
This is UNSC gear.
Yes.
Right.
And,
that you might find someone
You'll
in
see. I got the logo just there on the bottom, and then on the back tag is UNSC. This is
nice and sleek.
perfect time of the year. We live in the Pacific Northwest. It is
Looks
rainy and dreary a lot this time of year. This jacket has been perfect for it.
Yep.
Very comfortable. Thank you, CP team, for letting me have this. I'm never giving it back.
That looks sweet indeed. Of course, all the Mustard Brand gear is available at mustardbrand.com if you want to check that out.
Got a few nice pieces there.
Make sure. So that is this year's holiday Halo wish list. I know last year, Jay, you guys were able to do one where you kind of highlighted the best gear. So
I didn't have the naughty hat last year, though, so I feel like we've set this up a notch.
This is a much, much, much better year here
Absolutely.
for the holiday wish list. But now it is my extreme pleasure to welcome to the stage here. Oh, it's like we should take our holiday, maybe leave them on?
I'm not taking it off. Are you crazy?
Right. Gosh, I can't believe I almost took my
Are you
Santa
crazy?
hat off. Jeez.
Come on, man.
The funny thing,
Scrooge
actually,
McDuck
I'll bring up
over
a
here.
funny thing later about the hats. Remind me.
Oh, I will.
Okay, thank you. It is my pleasure now to introduce to the stage, we got Chris King, lead sandbox designer, as well as Michael Strongside Kavanaugh. Chris.
Hey, how you doing?
Awesome pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for
Excited
having me,
you
Chris.
as well. It's awesome to have you guys here. We are going to talk about a few cool things today, but the first of which, of course, is controller settings. Now, Chris, since launch, you guys have been kind of reviewing community feedback and working on some new settings. Today, just a few hours ago, we first announced them in a blog, but I think what better way to show them off than to have you also tell us about what players can expect in the Cartographer's gift update, which, I mean, I will go ahead and say it is the the highest level of control the players have ever had in Halo.
Yeah, it's funny. The controls are interesting because we always want to give players options to customize this stuff, and we've been talking about this advanced controller settings for a while. But you always end up weighing at the end of the project, like, do we polish this other stuff? Do we finish these? So we're actually using Sustain to try and get the advanced options in. So we've got 3 new things in today. We've got they're actually live next week, I should say. We've got the look sensitivity, and then we've got the inner and outer dead zone. So those are the 3 new params we've added. Do you want me to go ahead and just walk through
Yeah,
these?
so for sensitivity, at the time of the update, your sensitivity will be unchanged, right?
Yep,
that
that's
field,
right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, if you're happy with how everything's worked, we have the exact same default values that we shipped with, so you don't actually need to do anything. So the first value here, the look acceleration, basically, Halo uses a system where when you peg the look stick, so your right stick, you peg it 100% to the side, it scales over time, and so this gives you a way to basically customize that. So in the beta, we actually used a setting of 2 here. When we shipped, we actually changed it. It's like 0.15 seconds later, like 10% difference. It's a little bit faster. So if you're happy with it, stick with the 3, but if you actually like the beta settings, you can actually switch it to 2 and it'll be identical to how it was before.
That's cool. Right, and like you said, next week when people get their hands on this update, it'll be set to that default of 3.
That's right,
So,
that's exactly right.
Yeah, so keep going. I guess we'll talk about the dead zones now.
Yeah, so the other 2 we've got are the inner dead zone and the outer dead zone. So the best way to think about these is kind of like the problems they're trying to solve. So the inner dead zone is actually basically what we use when the stick is at rest. So basically you look around and then you let go of the stick. Well, what happens is over time, and even just from the factory, the stick doesn't always return to center. So the inner dead zone is basically to compensate so that like when you're letting off the stick, you don't just have drift where the camera's looking to the side.
Some of those wiggly sticks.
That's exactly right. So we've made this customizable now, so it defaults to how it was at ship. But the kind of annoying thing with these inner dead zones is you might have a really, really good controller, right? When we set these up and we use the specs the platform team gives us, that's kind of like worst case scenario. So essentially you might have a really, really good controller and we're stripping out some of that inner dead zone. So this is a good way to customize it and kind of test your controller. So what I would recommend doing on this guy is start with 0 on it, and then just kind of experiment, like look around and then let off the stick. And if you don't get any drift, leave it to 0, right? Or if you do get some drift, bump it up a little bit and try and find the sweet spot. Because essentially you want to try and minimize your dead zones. You want to use as much of the spectrum as we have available. So the outer dead zone, which is the bottom option here, it is used for the slow turn problem we were having. So essentially what was happening in those cases were some people were pegging the stick and it actually wasn't registering. This one's a little bit more finicky. So I have the same suggestion. I would turn this down to 0% and then kind of look around and see if suddenly you can't turn fast anymore. The thing that's a little wacky on this one is you have to kind of play with it a bit. What we're actually finding is most every controller, when you would peg the stick, you would hit peg speed and you would move fast. But what would happen is in battle or something, you'd kind of clench and press on the stick a bit. And that's when it was actually stripping some of the outer sensitivity out, essentially. So on this one, I would do the same thing, go with 0, bump it up a bit, and do what I was kind of saying there, like kind of press hard on the sides.
And try to almost see if you get that
That's
slow
right.
turn.
That's exactly right.
Cool. I think, and one of the coolest things that you guys did in conjunction with the services team is when you jump into the game next week, it'll be your previous sensitivity with all the defaults. So if you kind of don't want to mess with this, you don't have to. Right?
Yep, that's exactly right. Yeah, and this is our first pass of this. I think we're going to have another pass where we expose some more things later. We'll probably do independent, vertical, and horizontal, and give players a little more granularity too. So
cool, awesome. Yeah, I think players are going to really love messing around with this. Strongside, I know you've worked with a lot with the Sandbox team on designing controls, as well as the Xbox Elite controller, and now these updated settings. So
yeah, what's cool about it too, it's gonna change every single controller you play with. Like how this one's set to 12% and 10%. You could buy another controller and maybe you set it to 5% and 6%.
Because it feels a little bit better.
It's gonna be different with every single controller. So you could, I mean, normally you ask players like, hey, what sensitivity do you play on and stuff like that. But you can ask your friend or your buddy what they play on, but it's probably not gonna be exactly what you need to play on.
Right.
Maybe when it comes to like look acceleration or look sensitivity, you can play on the same thing. But when it comes to like inner and outer dead zone, you're gonna wanna kind of mess with that on your own and feel out what works best for your specific controller.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I haven't gotten to really toy with mine either. It's interesting though, because I have a stick here in the studio, which is a little bit looser, and then my stick at home, right, is a little bit tighter. So dialing that in will be neat to see and kind of see. I assume that I'm going to play on the same look acceleration, but I don't know.
I'm kind of interested too, just to mess with it. I've been playing on 2.
Have you?
I played 2 acceleration. Yeah, I went down a little bit, and it just feels a lot more easy to control. But I'm still messing with it a little bit, and it can go up to a decent amount of speed. So if you like it to be extremely fast, like to whip a sniper shot or something
we'll have
like
to
that,
see. I mean, the players who play 10
can get pretty
sensitivity,
sick.
first of all, I don't understand
Yeah,
how you do
that's
it.
another
But I mean,
level.
if people start playing 10 sensitivity and like a really high look
Acceleration.
acceleration, we might see some crazy things.
Oh, yeah.
Some crazy clips and crazy control would be nuts. I think we're also ready to talk a little bit about our next arena map, which is Overgrowth. And Side, I know you've been testing this map probably for quite some time with the pro team guys kind of dialing it in.
Yeah.
Tell us about the map. I happen to like it a lot. I think the way it plays differently from
Plaza.
Plaza, thank you, Jay. Is pretty unique, and it kind of harkens back to a lot of corridor, window-based Halo combat. So tell us a little bit about Overgrowth.
Yeah, so we played a lot of different game modes on it. I think what we liked best was Strongholds. Strongholds worked really well on the map, and it's a cool like design to it as well. You've got like the tall grass, you're able to like kind of sneak around in some areas, and you got camo, so it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie I Am Legend or something like that. It's just like completely overgrown. It's like, it's just a whole cool like design to the map, and yeah, it plays really different than Plaza as well. You've got a lot of different routes, and yeah, I'm excited to show it off though.
Yeah, I think it's also got a little bit of a ghost town feel. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Look at the kind of fly through right now.
We're taking a look at the map now, and it's kind of got that. The best way I can describe it is a ghost town feel.
It does, yeah. I mean, that was the first thing you said when I was capturing some of the fly-throughs for it, and we were looking at it kind of visually for the first time. That was the first thing you kind of was like, oh, that's what this reminds me of.
Yes, indeed. So excited to show off this map. We were actually, you and I, yesterday, were just running around the map, finding some sweet jumps and tricks and different clamber spots, and I personally can't wait to play on it. And also, and it really, I think it doesn't feel too much, with the exception of 1 or 2 spaces like Plaza, right, as a remix. So I think it's going to to be pretty sweet. So we'll go ahead and
we got invites coming in. Well, I got the fly-throughs going, so we'll get set up on our side
jump
here.
into this map. So Cider, are you going to be playing on Look Acceleration 2?
I will be, yeah. So I've been playing on Sensitivity 5, Look Acceleration 2.
Okay.
A little bit faster than I think what most people play. People normally play Sensitivity like 4 or 3. But it's nice to be able to get that like quick turnaround snipe or something, or that quick whip of your last pistol shot if you're in the middle of a thrust. So that's what I really enjoy playing on.
I'm going to take your advice, Side. I'm going to try this.
Are you trying this too?
For the look acceleration.
Jeez,
I'm going to take it for a spin.
I mean, I'm going to just see.
I'm doing 4 and 2 as well.
Are you 4 and 2?
I'm going to try it.
Do it.
I play on 4, so I'm going to go ahead and try 2 as well, and I'll see. It's interesting also, Chris, to now have kind of, for the first time in Halo multiplayer, this secondary and then also tertiary and as well set of settings, right? So if a player's like, man, I love playing on 5, but something feels just a bit off, they can kind of tune that, which I think we haven't seen not only in the game, but it's exciting to see what the community is able to do. And also personally, I'm selfishly excited to be able to fine tune myself that deep. Yeah. So I think we're going to go ahead, Jay, and jump into a match on Overgrowth. We'll find out exactly which game type we're playing. It's going to be a match of Slayer. as we're jumping in, and we'll find out exactly everyone. Let's see, what team are you on? Let's see, side, what team? I'm on red.
I'm on red.
Jay, what about you?
I'm on
Let's
red
see,
as well.
Chris, we got red?
Oh,
All right, so
red.
this is what I'm talking about.
All right,
so
all right.
For the first time ever in Halo Livestream history, all 4 of the players here on the stage are all on the red team. So let's go ahead and do this. Side, one of the things I like about this map is there's a lot of areas, right, where you can like drop down, hop out of the windows, and kind of just really, if you time your jumps and your slides well, these kind of high windows, you can pop right out of them, you know?
Yeah, it feels like a map where a lot of the nerdy strategies are going to be
Oh, yeah.
coming out for sure.
I do believe so. We've got a few.
Yeah, being able to use the stabilized jump on this map too, like making it
Yes.
into a window,
Yep.
that's going to be really big as well.
Watch out, they have camo shotgun, and we're also losing 5-1.
I was going to say, I see two or three X's right now.
Let's go ahead and see. So right now, of course, this is a 4v4, and I believe, you know, the Overgrown, of course, will be, Overgrowth will be integrated into Railgun. Did you see that guy's side?
Oh,
I did.
that invis.
It's now 8-1. This is not good. So I was personally really excited about all of us being on the same team.
Side, what are you doing over there, man? Are you just
Side, we're really depending on you.
Oh, we got down right now. I've got 2 kills.
Sword guy coming through.
Okay, so I was able to get this shotgun, so I have secured it. Only has 2 shots left, though. There's a guy over here.
There's a
around
guy
Plaza.
bottom middle with sword
Old
right
Cafe. A lot of sight lines are very different. A lot of the routes that you can take are also different as well. I'm trying to find where this guy went.
Dude, blue sword
Over
guy
here
is
on the
just-
lookout.
They've got the
12
sword
to
over
2.
the cafe.
Hello.
It's 12 to 2.
Hey, someone.
Oh no! No, please! Oh, thank God! Oh my gosh!
All right, we need to get on
so
the board
I killed the sword guy. He slid under my shotgun shot at first, which is why I panicked terribly. We'll have to see if we can get out here alive. So 13 to 3. Every time I check the scoreboard, I'm hopefully expecting to see us with a few more kills, and that's never really the case. You're all the kills or all the deaths?
So do you have the 4 kills now?
I think I have 2.
Yeah.
As our producer Chad just informed me,
We've
it
got
sounds
2
like we're
goosers
actually
right now.
playing
We can't
pro
end with the
team
goose.
right
As long as we all get
would
1
explain
kill.
a lot.
What are you guys doing? I have 3 kills. If we all had 3, we would be doing better.
That's a
It's
lot
5
to
to
ask.
17. This is embarrassing. This is adding to only a far too long spree of the team on the stage here losing the match. But yeah, this is you're getting a first look here at Overgrowth. This is coming to Halo 5 next week with the Cartographer's Gift update. It's a brand new look. They have camo again. Brand new look at this arena map. This is actually I believe, the premiere of this map.
I think it's the first time we've shown gameplay.
Yeah, we've shown off some screenshots. You've seen some concept art last week, but this map looks fantastic. And really, if you're kind of into, you know, the closest thing I can compare it to would be really that corridor style combat, where you're really fighting down hallways and able to take flank rounds. When you look at Plaza, right, it's a really open map. The sight lines are. I saw that. I'm not going to go that direction.
Yeah, that's the #1 thing. That's the difference
and
in
we're
this
now
remix.
we're now at a point here, gentlemen who are joining me, where this is a really embarrassing scoreline, right? Sometimes you start a match and it's 8-1, and you're like, it's okay, bad start.
You
Now
know,
it's 28-7.
This is a problem.
Yeah, we gotta step this up here.
I may have given up hope. I'm not sure exactly what's happening. Maybe it's the look acceleration of 2. I think this is our entire team is losing by 20. By 26 now.
24
yes,
points. Yeah.
And I had to stop myself because we continue to die. But
sword.
I'm going to blame it on look acceleration 2.
Yeah, we've really sold that.
And that, I'm pretty sure we're playing
I'm
pro
going
team
back
right
to
now.
look acceleration 3. This is absurd. 7. Who are we playing?
We're playing pro team.
We are
I'm pretty
playing
sure
pro
we're
team.
playing
Are
pro
we
team.
playing?
Yeah.
Why would
With the sub of Hell Havens right now.
So
Swords and railguns. Oh.
that actually makes a lot more sense. From our vantage point, we can't actually tell who we're playing against.
Yes.
I can only tell you that I'm getting absolutely
I'm thinking
destroyed.
those guys snuck in there, and we're like, we'll play the arena
This is-
game.
Man, so, but it's funny because this was actually luck of the draw. They just happened to all be placed on the other team, but it's 7-40. So let's see, whose POV are we actually showing off right
This
now?
is side.
This is side.
Yeah.
All
Make
right,
sure
well, me? All right, I
we
gotta
only-
step
we
this
can
up
only-
then.
No, I wouldn't even recommend stepping it up. We only have 8 more times. Maybe just look around the map. Show the vistas.
All right.
Show the art. Show the art that's around. Maybe
Yes.
show the graffiti style. Some of this stuff. I think that's the best use of our time here because anything else, trying to make a comeback at this point would be just slow down. Yeah, take a look at this
All right,
root
here,
system.
look at this tree
Oh,
right here.
it's fantastic. Totally just.
Look at those tree
you kinda
vines.
get that I Am Legend feel, like Trunks I was saying. We are the last Spartans here on this battleground.
All right, I'm staying alive. Here we
but
go.
not-
Getting the kill.
nice.
Let's go.
Nice.
8 to 46. is the score.
All right, let's
so Pro Team, of course.
we could just hide in the grass. If we all crouch and hide in the grass.
This guy's.
There we go. We're getting a couple more. Chase this guy
Maybe we
down.
can get 10. Should we set the goal of 10? All right, it's
All right,
9 to 49.
49.
Yeah, I think the camel.
It's up to you.
No,
it's up
right
to
here,
you, bro.
Right here.
Yes.
I got him. I got him.
All right, we got 10.
We win. We win. Nice job. All right, there we go. We won. Oh, that was very, very nerve-wracking. I almost got a Spartan charge to the face. But I think us getting 10 kills was probably the biggest accomplishment of the day.
Oh,
nice
we
job,
ended up
boys.
getting 11 right there.
You got 11?
We got
That's
11.
a great
There we
performance.
go.
Hey.
That's not bad at all. Remember we started 8-1?
This never happened.
Gosh.
Who did that? Who put Pro Team on there?
I have to say,
Who is it?
I'm feeling a bit deflated.
I can see Mason right there. He's hiding.
I'm feeling like we lost really badly.
That was just mean, guys. That was just mean.
Dursky. Oh, we are. So we can see Ghost Sayami went 16-6. Dursky went 15-1. So now we're just looking at these terrible.
We played Ghost, Dursky, Mason, and Barton.
It's a
really.
It's a massacre. I don't feel
really?
good about it.
That's just.
I believe. I think we're actually. Let's see. I'm not sure. I think we have another match.
We're gonna do another match. Yeah.
Excuse me. Another match on Overgrowth. It's going to be Strongholds, so we'll get to see the Stronghold points. I can only pray for all of us here.
This was our favorite, so we do already have some strategies, but you guys don't know them, so they all know them. So this could be very brutal for us.
This won't be good at all. But I have to say, you guys are all rocking the candy cane emblem, and I have the Spartan claws still. So I'm very happy that we all have holiday cheer despite that last loss. Hopefully the teams will be a little bit more even this next round, but I think we're going to get going in Strongholds on Overgrowth. Now, Strongside, tell us about where these different points are, and we need you to tell us them very clearly because we don't know them yet, and we're going to be playing in about 3 seconds.
All right, so we want to control the cafe and bottom.
Are we all on red again?
So let's head over to Blue Bend. Yeah, we're all on red right now. So
all right,
here,
so
I'm going to go for Blue Bend.
I'm going with you right now.
We'll pick up cafe. They're already here.
They're already here. We're gonna win.
There's one guy in here.
If you can't beat him in Slayer, we'll take him in Stronghold. It's fine. They already have one, so we're second
All right,
late.
We've got Blue Bend.
That's fine, but
we're doing
okay,
good.
So
now we want to try and get bottom middle, but
they're going to have Bog. They already have it. Should we
Bog
try to
is
drop
the other
down?
one. Bog's the other one you want to try to hold.
Yep.
Those are the two key. Whoa.
They're already bottom
I see.
right now.
Is there a plasma caster?
They already
looks
have
like
it.
for
They already have Bog.
plasma caster looks
we're
is
going for
a
Bog.
power weapon for
All right,
Strongholds.
let's try to get this thing.
Let's get Bog.
Steal it.
They're dropping down, dropping down. They're dropping down from Plaza.
He's got
from Plaza.
camo with Shoddy.
Of course.
He's like the Predator
That was
right now,
actually my next question was, are they about to come at us with a shotgun?
All right, so yeah,
with
getting the
shotgun,
Predator combo is like, it's super powerful
we saw
on this map. We let them get
I'm
camo,
worried.
we let them
So
get
all
Shoddy.
right, so they have and they also have every control point on the map right now, and that is Shoddy. He's finally down. Jeez.
Get that Shoddy.
All right, let's make our goal to get 1 point. If we get
I got
1 point, we win.
Nice. All right, 2 dead. If we can get 1 point on the board, do you think that's a victory side?
That is 100%.
I've never been in such terrible
We don't have any
situation in my
strategy
life.
right now.
Wow. This is terrible. I think we do have strategy. We should just win. We have strong side.
All right, I got one.
All right,
That's 2 down. 2 down.
All right, so Strongholds against Pro Team may have been a terrible idea. Once again, Strong Side, I think we should go into the mode of just showing off the map.
All right,
yeah, definitely.
Let's not, let's not, yeah.
I could go into Predator mode or something.
Let's, let's show, oh, jeez, you're getting shot off spawn. The brief moment that I was looking at your screen.
I was alive
I'm gonna
for like
actually,
3
this
seconds.
is actually good that we're doing this because, right, this is our second live stream, and I'm gonna actually take our producers aside after the show and tell them this is actually a really bad way to show off.
All right, we got the tram.
We're just getting destroyed.
Yes.
Yeah, so as we now have another player there. So we're going to let the score take up strong side and treat this as maybe 4 or 5 minutes to really show off the elegance.
The beauty of the map.
Yeah, and the beauty
Just
of the
run a
map.
few laps.
That's it. We have some fantastic root systems, some fantastic IV.
I'm getting bog, so let's go for tram.
Okay.
Let's try and get 2 here. We can do it.
I don't know, Side. I'm slightly worried.
We've got this.
I'm not feeling good. At least we have 1 point. Though.
Bog.
All right, we're getting tram.
Yep.
All right, so
2 guys coming at me at tram.
Stay on tram. Just get on tram with us.
Stay on
We
tram.
need a point.
We got
We're
1
gonna
point.
get a point.
1 point. Here we go.
Yes.
1 point.
All right.
We got a
now
point.
we're talking. Get that. There's. I feel good about the 1 point that we just got.
Yeah.
I
We have 3.
I feel really good about what we've done. Jay, how's that plasma caster treating you?
I've always really enjoyed the plasma caster. We got
Side-
total control right now.
Strong side
attempting to go for a ninja right
Strong side,
there.
as a member of Pro Team yourself, how does it feel to be on the receiving end of this beating that you normally dish out to everyone else in the studio? There's some level of justice that's actually happening
now I'm
here.
feeling very bad about how we play against the other testers
Yeah,
now.
no, as
This
you all
is
should.
Not a fun experience at all.
I'm grabbing tram right now.
As we,
But you know what? we said we were going to win if we got a point, so that
Yeah,
that
no,
very
it was
gratifying.
our job to get a point, and we've done that.
Total domination.
And here we go. This is actually we're mounting somewhat of a comeback.
Yeah, it is a comeback.
So we'll have to see if we can put this on, but I'm not sure if.
They're going to let us get to like 58.
Oh,
and
no,
they're
they'll
just
let
gonna
us. Yeah.
run it
They'll
after
let,
that.
no, they'll probably let us get to 96, and then we'll be defeated after that. But side, while we're playing here in Overgrowth, tell us some of, in addition to grabbing that camo, which spawns, by the way, where it spawns like kind of plaza to stairs, right around tram.
Right above tram. So
Right.
the shotgun actually spawns nearby as well, and the camo spawns right above tram, and that's going to come up every 2 minutes.
So of course, in addition
So
to that,
in addition what?
In addition to that, grabbing that that shoddy camo combo, what are some other good strategies here on Overgrowth? I think it plays pretty unique to this map. So
Nice.
any other tips you can find? I mean, you guys have been playing this map for a while now. Any other tips you can share for Overgrowth?
Yeah, so kind of what I was saying at the beginning, holding Blue Bend and Bog, you basically want to hold those because you've got that height advantage over at Blue Bend,
Right.
and then you can use that window sightline to kind of look over Bog as well, and you keep them spawning off in the corner over at Tram as far as you can possibly spawn them away from the Bog and from Blue Bend. And they only have a couple ways to escape, so if you can kind of minimize and watch those routes that they can escape from, then you can keep them on kind of like a little bit of a spawn trap.
Right. All right, so enemy team now has, let's see,
47-77.
Yeah. It's a little bit more respectable. You do have camo sight, so let's see a camo route here.
Oh, he's got Shoddy over here. Who's here with me? Let's take him out.
That's Jay.
Let's go for him.
Oh, I almost stuck him.
Jay. How did it go, Jay?
That did not go well.
Okay.
That's what I get. That's what I get for trying to take on a pro player.
Oh.
That's what we all get, Jay. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
Shoddy again.
This Shoddy too hotty.
No.
I think you just got a triple with that Shoddy right there.
How did you do that?
All right, let's pick up Blue Bend.
Replay.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too good about
But yeah,
the
as you
performance
notice, this game type can be very fast.
Yeah,
it's very
especially-
quick, very fast paced, very quick, and you need to be like moving constantly. You don't really want to be kind of holding down one area for too long. You want to just kind of be in the other team's face, just not really giving them any time to make any moves.
Right, I was actually going to say, it's oh boy, it might pull it. Could be a sick double. I just killed half of pro team with this single grenade, which I feel really good about. The one thing that I was going to say, though, is it was exactly that. And what's cool, I think, the top corridors that this map has, you can kind of drop in and drop out of those, right? You can kind of use those to get across the map really fast.
Yeah.
Which definitely will have to keep you on your toes because there's a lot of exits and entrances to watch for.
Yeah. And the plasma caster on this map works really well too because you've got these shortened counters like in hallway, and there's just everything's like really tight space. So you can easily just bounce them off the ground, pick up an easy kill, maybe a double kill, and turn around and start firing at
I'm convinced
their
that
spawn.
Pro Team has just let us, for some reason, regain the lead here. It's some odd show of
kindness, mercy.
Kindness. It's mercy, if anything.
Which is not like Pro Team at all.
Yeah, they're going to let us get to 90.
It's completely against their character.
And then go ahead and just bring the match back. Now they also, of course, have control of 2. So at this point, they're just toying with us.
Right.
But we do hope you like what you're seeing here on Overgrowth, as well as us being toyed with like puppets throughout the majority.
I've lost count of how many times you guys have Spartan charged me in this match.
They're champion Spartan chargers.
Get him!
Because we. So I guess, now that we're seing the type of destruction that Pro Team can do, how long is it that you, for example, when did Pro Team first get their hands on this map? How long do you guys see it? How early before the map actually comes to be?
So we saw it a couple months ago in its early stages, and it was actually pretty wild. When we first looked at the map, the grass was extremely high, so you could like just crouch and be hidden in the grass. You wouldn't even be able to be seen.
Wow. So that's one of the things that was changed.
So that was one of the things that was changed. Although it was really fun, but it kind of broke the map. It made it just, everyone wanted to crouch around in the grass and just hide and wait for somebody to come by because you couldn't be seen. But yeah, I mean, there was minor things changed. The window top middle was changed a little bit. So you have to do that stabilized jump to get into it. It was a lot easier to get in at first. just to make it a little bit more of a skill jump.
Right.
And then just little minor tweaks with walls and little pieces of the design were changed. But like I said, Strongholds I think plays the absolute best on that game or on that map, just because it's fast-paced and it's really about like controlling those two strongholds and forcing that other team to spawn as far away as possible.
Right. And then which two do you recommend controlling? Because it is an asymmetrical map, right?
Yeah.
So which two do you think are the best?
I would definitely probably say Blue Bend and Bog. But the only thing is, like with Tram, you can do Tram and Bog, just because you get the camo that spawns right there at Tram, and then you get Shotgun, which is nearby as well. So if you get that combo, you're going to be lethal.
Right. And we were on the receiving end of that for most of the game, so we know exactly what you're talking about.
That's how you win.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun. No, but guys, thank you so much, Chris. Yeah. Awesome stuff with this update.
Thanks.
I think people are going to be really stoked to
so.
start to mess with their controls, and of course we'll be looking out for feedback on that over this next week. Side, always a pleasure. Thank you for bearing through the beating with us there. Fantastic to have you on the show. You guys have a fantastic weekend.
Thanks, you
for
too.
coming on.
Thank you guys.
Alrighty, Jay, next up in the show, we've got a returning section, which I'm quite excited about. Fans of the Bulletin will remember Fresh Picks.
Fresh Picks. One of my favorite parts of the Bulletin every time. And so we're bringing them back. And so before we close out the show, I want to give you guys a few fresh picks to check out this weekend.
I love hearing you say fresh
tonight.
Picks.
I've said it quite a few times.
Perfect.
I've been practicing a lot. So let's get to it. First is one of my favorite series in the Halo channel, breaking down the map. Our guy Linux and team does an amazing job putting these together. Also has a pretty kick-ass and handsome host for the show as well.
Pretty average.
Pretty above average.
I don't know.
Plaza is one of my favorite looking maps. It's one of my favorite maps to play on, especially for SWAT. And this series is just awesome. It's going to be ongoing. Just a great way to get sort of like an intro.
Well, I have to say
into each
also,
map.
and don't be fooled. I don't have all the expert knowledge of these maps. It's actually Pro Team who helps write the scripts for these. So
it's a team effort.
when you're hearing me talk about these maps and you're like, man, this guy is full of. I actually don't worry. It's all coming from Pro Team and it actually is real info. I'm not just making it up, although at times it certainly might sound like
it. Feels that way sometimes.
Yeah,
but yeah, breaking down the map Plaza, there'll be more on the way. Linux is always working on these. They're awesome. You should check that out. Number 2 in our fresh picks for December is Halo 5 Guardians Mythbusters. I love that they're doing this. It's such a cool idea.
What is the myth here?
The myth is, can you shoot this, for example, can you kill 3 guys with one burst of a BR?
The answer is yes.
Yes, you can.
You might remember, ding, ding, ding. Look at them, falling like dominoes.
And I love the
slow it down.
You see each
Slow
shot
it down.
connecting.
Right there, boom, boom, boom. Thankfully, those models fall in the perfect order instantly.
Cool.
Myth confirmed.
Myth confirmed.
Right there, you can earn a Star Killer medal with a ground pound. This
Can
is
you?
the next.
Can you? Do you think that's? What do you say, bro? Is that true or is that false?
I don't even know. We can only find out.
We're
gonna
learn today.
Looks like there you have it.
That's
yes,
a very
indeed.
satisfying looking ground pound as well.
So if someone else is queuing up a ground pound, you are both Star Killer eligible. Is what's going on there. But
I think it's rad.
Awesome series. I have to say the Halo. The BR burst reminds me. I mean, I remember days. Pig 2 on midship, Halo 2 was an area where you often were firing a BR into. And oftentimes, especially in something like SWAT, but even in non-SWAT matches, if 2 players are running by there, you could get a double kill with one burst, and it kind of feels really weird, right? You're just like, ooh.
But awesome.
But awesome. So confirmed once again, that is also possible in Halo 5.
Please make more of those. I think it's such a good idea for a series. They're
awesome series.
It fits Halo perfectly. Last but certainly not least, again, if you've watched my content, you know I'm a huge fan of the campaign, the story, the universe of Halo. The Halo 101 series is awesome. This one in particular, The Long Road Home, just does a great breakdown of some of the major events from the titles, focusing on the Arbiter story. I went down behind that. I just, the books, the games, the soundtrack, I always can't get enough. I love the characters and world. This is a great start to the Halo 101 series, but again, there's a bunch of these on the Halo channel right now. You should absolutely go watch those. It's great weekend reading. Great way to get caught up on our story of Halo.
Yes, indeed.
And those blur cinematics, man.
Oh, they look so good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Could watch those over and over. I have to say, Jay, when we first looked at the total stuff we were showing for the show, it kind of looked like a ton of stuff, and we're like, man, this is going to be a really long stream, but I have to say, I kind of want to show more stuff. It was awesome. I mean, we had so much awesome goodness today.
I don't want to take this hat off.
No, you probably won't.
I'm taking it home with me.
That's actually, thank you for reminding me. The funny thing about this hat, I don't know if you know that it actually has a nice side. but you've been wearing the naughty side the whole time, which I think is awesome.
And accurate.
And actually accurate and way more fitting. I actually only noticed it when I saw additional.
There really is. It says nice on there too.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you turn it around.
No, it shouldn't. No, it's false.
It'd
be a lie.
Me, there's a.
It'd be a lie. A dirty lie.
A nice side to Jay and also his hat, but. It went so fast today. We showed off Forge, we got to see Overgrowth, we got to see Battle of Noctis, we got to see new control settings that are coming. We talked a lot about UI and a whole bunch of new stuff that are coming.
Yep.
The multiplayer team is continuing to work on updates to new modes, new playlists, all of that is coming in the new year. We've got social playlists coming. Seasons are coming.
Which reminds me, I'm going to end us on one last question from Twitter, which is totally permanent. From Reddit user Soul SFM, will social playlists be permanent?
It's a perfect question.
That's a great question for what you just said.
That's an excellent toss as well. So for social, we got Big Team Battle, which is going social next week. A limited join in progress window is also getting turned on.
Okay,
right? So
cool.
kind of bringing it back to that social BTB experience based on feedback that we got. And we're also going to have another social playlist. It's going to be long term, right? That playlist specifically might not be permanent, but overall goal, overall thinking is that there needs to be a permanent social offering, right? Well, multiple permanent social offering. So we're going to have more details on that playlist that's coming out next week. It'll be available through the holidays, but that playlist and the spirit of that playlist will continue to be available. So it won't be like after the holidays that multiple social playlists are going away. So yes, indeed, they are long-term playlists, and we're going to have an ever-evolving social offering.
Awesome.
That is going to get really awesome when we start to have community content, community Forge content, community game types, all being brought into that playlist. We may even have some kind of community Forge test playlist where we get to just all jump in and try new mini games. Right? Lots of fun stuff that is going to be there that we can't wait to work on the Forge communities, plural, with. So fantastic stuff that's coming there. Seasons are coming next week where everyone's going to kind of be able to replace in their ranked playlists as well. It's going to be lasting through January 2016 as well. There's tons of goodness, and we're going to be back with more blogs on all of that next week. Have to give a shout out to all of our guests today. We had from every team, from the multiplayer team, from the sandbox team, from the Forge team, Joe Staten, of course, for joining us today.
Our amazing production team that puts this live stream together behind the scenes.
Everyone here in the back.
You guys are amazing.
It has been a fantastic show. It's been a long show today, so we thank you so much for joining us for it. Make sure to share the good word. Weekend Arena Breakout is available in matchmaking this weekend only if you want to jump in. It has increased XP rewards, and I believe daily win bonus will be turned on. It might already be on right now. So in Halo 5, but daily win bonus is going to be turned on today. It'll be available this weekend. You'll start to earn rec packs for your first win in Arena and your first win in Breakout every single day. So tons of Halo 5 goodness on the way. Each and every day, we are in the forums with you, kind of reading exactly what you want to see, and you are featuring shaping the future of this game. I have to say one last goodbye, Jay, to this building here.
You've served us well.
This is 434 Kirkland Way. Halo titles have been developed here since the very beginning of Halo 3. The epicenter of Halo development here, right? I think many talented people have sat in this building and designed many of the experiences that have shaped Halo entertainment, whether we talk about things like Forward into Dawn, whether we talk about games from the past. It's pretty exciting. And we also have to say, Jay, equally exciting, when a door closes, a new one opens, and our next live stream will be from our new building. So we'll be sure to show you around that new studio and give you a look there.
And it's looking pretty cool.
It is.
They're doing some awesome stuff over there.
There's some good stuff, so we'll be sure to show you that. For everyone here in the back, for all of us at 343, Jay and myself want to wish you a happy holidays. We thank you so much for tuning in. It has been a blast these first few months of Halo 5, and there's so much more on the way. We'll be back with a ton more blog content on Waypoint next week as well. So thank you so much. And before we go, here's a very quick tease at what's to come in January.
Woo!